One second.
All right. Hi, everybody. Hope you're all right. Gabby, are you in this building?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Okay. So just because of timekeeping purposes and because literally our guests on a very tight schedule, we're not gonna stick about. So I'm just gonna pin you, Gabby, and then we're gonna start this. So just bear with me. And Gabby, you also co-host, okay? In case you need to share anything. Oh yeah, Dean, your co-host as well. Essentially, everybody is co-host who's presenting today. Caesar, you have the co-host rights as well. Just let me know if it's reflected. And Nino. Okay. All right, Gabby. Because of time, the guys who are not here, they'll catch the recording, okay? So you can take it away.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. So, first of all, are we excited today or are we excited today? Okay, because today is NLT and No Long Take 2025 graduation. If you're excited to be graduating today, I need you to put yes, I am in the chat. You know me. We got to start talking to one another in here. If you're excited to be graduating today, but yes, I am in the chat. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the spring graduation of the No Ting program. My name is Gabrielle Gay. I am the CEO of Crypto Mondays Africa and Director of Educational Initiatives for Blockchain Let's Group, and excitingly, a mentor and partner, and just a partner in destiny with Brian as he's founded such an incredible initiative for Web3 and cryptocurrency education across Africa, the Caribbean, and the entire world. So let's jump right into our exciting program today. So, guys, our keynote speaker today is none other than the incredible, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dean Armstrong, KC, King's Counsel, okay? He is the UK's leading, all right, leading barrister and King's Counsel on all things cyber law. He advises governments and multinationals around the entire world on all aspects of cyber law, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and cyber litigation. Healthy family, let's put some claps in the chat and put the word welcome to our incredible keynote speaker, Dean Armstrong, KC. Take it away, Dean, and welcome, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, can I say, first of all, that many, many congratulations. Add my congratulations to those you've already had, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, your graduation day, and I hope it is a really terrific day. I'm sure it is a very exciting day. And also, what can I say? It was a fantastic introduction, Gabby, so I really appreciate it. We're going to really talk today about something which you'll be very familiar with, but then I hope also give you some thoughts and considerations on things perhaps that you're not as au fait with, or at least the interrelationship of those things. So we're going to talk about data, and we're going to talk about data in what I've termed the Web3 age. Now, most of you I know will be experts in Web3, but what I'm going to do is introduce by saying just a few key things about Web3 in order to set up what I'll be talking to you about, more particularly about data as we go on. Now, what is Web3 or Web 3.0? Well, it's the next generation of internet. The key features of it are, I would suggest, decentralization, user ownership, and our friend blockchain technology. It's a move away from Web 2, current internet, which is dominated really by centralized platforms. We all know them: Google, Facebook, Amazon. And the aim of Web 3, I would suggest, is to create an internet where users have greater control over their data, their digital identities, and their online interactions. So what are the key features of Web 3? Well, if I can perhaps simplify it to what I would suggest are the key features. Decentralization. So data and applications are hosted on distributed networks like blockchain or peer-to-peer systems rather than centralized servers. And the key point about that, the significant feature of that, is it eliminates reliance on intermediaries or single points of control. Second key point, user ownership. In Web3, users own their data and digital assets through cryptographic wallets, and through blockchain-based technologies, they enable individuals to control how their data is shared and significantly monetized. And third and key, and I need say nothing more than this, the fact and the importance of blockchain technology. Now, the phrase that springs to mind in terms of Web3 for me is the phrase return of control, returning control of data to those who I would suggest are entitled to own it, whose data it actually is. It's a democratization of data. And data is the critical asset in the Web3 ecosystem. Understanding the value of data in Web3 involves examining its role in enhancing privacy, security, and user empowerment. there's a lot that is said about Web3, which technically is the case. Some of the things we're going to talk about as we move through this short address is going to be whether in practice Web3 or what Web3 seeks to say it can do is actually achievable, and what challenges there are which face Web3. So one of the key features we've spoken about in terms of the role of data is privacy and control. Web3 offers enhanced privacy and control over personal data as compared to Web2. Those of you familiar with the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, and there are, as we'll come on to, similar regimes across other parts of the world, that GDPR clearly puts at the center the importance of protecting personal data. The preamble to that regulation, for those who wish to have the specific verse of it, Regulation EU 2016-679, the preamble of that underscores that the protection of natural persons in relation to the processing of personal data is a fundamental right. I would suggest that that is a significant departure from everything that we have really seen up until 2016 in terms of how data is processed. Yes, there's been data protection regulations and legislation across the world, but the European Union GDPR, which obviously at that point the UK was part of, puts that at the center. So that protection of personal data and the rights in respect of that protection is a fundamental right. Web3 technologies ensure that personal data is owned and controlled by the users, which theoretically reduces the risks associated with data storage and data breaches. And so I come back to this point. I'm speaking obviously to an international audience, and therefore I'm very conscious of the fact that there are different data regimes across the world affecting individuals in different ways. The right, and I suggest it is a right, it isn't a privilege, but the right of ownership and control of your personal data is very dependent upon where your data is customarily processed. In the UK, as I've explained, in the European Union as well, in some states, but not the majority of states in the United States, and some in South America, notably Argentina, all of those jurisdictions have placed an individual's data at the center and provided legal redress in the event of a breach. So I'm going to come back in a moment after I've just dealt with a few more Web3 characteristics, but I'm going to come back to the importance of putting a personal data protection at the center of data regimes across the world where the GDPR or those similar regimes exist. So again, looking at the aims and the characteristics, if we can call them that, of Web3, security and transparency. The security of personal data is paramount in Web3. The regulation, the GDPR, outlines that technical and organizational measures must be implemented to ensure data security and transparency in processing activities. Blockchain technology, a core component of Web3, provides immutable and transparent records of transactions, enhancing trust and security for users. There is also the decentralization and data ownership, which empowers users. So it's distributed data is distributed across the network rather than being stored in centralized servers. Personal data encompasses any information, just to remind you, relates to an identifiable person, and that includes data strings, which are used to inform advertisers of user preferences. In Web3, users have the power to control and monetize their data, creating, hopefully, and in principle, new economic opportunities. And also, and significantly in Web3, the interoperability and data sharing facilities. Web3 promotes those seamlessly across platforms. And again, the regulation, the Commission regulation dealing with this highlights the importance of data exchange protocols and formats to ensure interoperability between IT systems. And then, of course, there's the innovations and applications of data in Web3, something close to my heart. I've written on this. Smart contracts, which are self-execution contracts, executing contracts with the terms directly written into code. They rely clearly heavily on data. And it's important that in respect of the smart contract procedures, data is transparent and intelligible for users. Again, smart contracts and DApps utilize data to automate processes in Web3 and create trustless environments, reducing the need for intermediaries. And there is also the desire for enhanced user experiences. Data in Web3 can significantly enhance user experiences. Things such as the discussion of data for personal fitness recommendations and virtual competitions. Web3 applications can leverage user data to provide personalized and contextually relevant services, improving user satisfaction. And that's where there is a but. Data and its value is something which needs to be thought about carefully in respect of all of the matters that we discuss when we discuss Web3. Because how does data valuation arise in a legal context? What commercial and consumer rights and obligations are involved? Are we talking about property in data, in contracts, human rights, or something else? So what is the character of data? Unlike a company's shares or a piece of real estate, data in and of itself is hard to value. Yet, as I will come on to say later, and it may already be apparent, my view is it's one of the most, if not the most, lucrative and significant assets in the world at the moment. So is data property? That's a very interesting question. Let's see whether it has the characteristics of property. Well, data is certainly recognized in the law as an asset. It can be bought and sold. You can allow your data to be used for a specified purpose, and therefore you can license it, you can lease it, you can potentially even borrow against the value of your data. But in the law, certainly in the UK, the law has not yet developed to the stage where a claimant can assert that property rights can be the subject, for example, of a legal charge. I'm a huge proponent of the stage being reached that data is considered property. And that, to me, goes hand in hand with the significant points in terms of the ideals of Web3, but also in terms of the GDPR, for example, putting data, one's own data, at the center of the ownership piece. But there is, in my view, notwithstanding all the promises that Web3 makes, through no fault of it as a concept's own, but data is still very, very inadequately and certainly insufficiently compensated. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of cases that I'm currently working on. Let's talk about, for example, professional athletes' data. Now, that's something which I'm very familiar with, having worked on professional athletes' data case for quite some time. It's important that we make a difference here between professional athletes' data in respect of image rights. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about performance and tracking data. So how many runs a footballer makes, whether it's left foot or right foot, whether it's they're in certain heat areas of the particular part of the pitch. And significantly, That data, which one may say is of huge value, and I will be able to confirm this by saying that anyone who is remotely aware of the value of transfer market in terms of the data which is exchanged about players, but particularly in terms of the bookmakers and betting across the world on soccer in particular, but other sports as well. That data, which those bookmakers and other parties, that data is actually used, first of all, without the direct consent of the player, I would suggest, and certainly it's used without any kind of recompense, financial or otherwise, to those players. Now, is that fair? Is it fair, for example, that the lifeblood of a footballer, for example, the way that those footballers pass, how many passes they make, how many assists they make, and things of that nature. I'm not advocating here that millionaire footballers get to be bigger millionaires, but I'm talking about a legal concept at the center of data in association with our Web3 age. Is it right that that data, which is an asset, is being used for no compensation by a third party? I'd bring it even closer to home, for example. And many of you may be sitting there watching this, listening to this, wearing an Apple Watch. I'm almost certain that you'll all be having a mobile phone with you. Others may have, there are other watches also available, Samsung watches and things of that nature. But how much data do those pieces take from you, and do you know where that goes? So the point that I'm making here is these devices are recording your every move. They are recording where you go, the places you visit, how regularly and how often. They track your journeys. They track where you study. They track where you go to eat. They track obviously who you interact with, whether that be social media or telephone or text or WhatsApp or whatever. Where does that go? Where does all that material that you are giving for free, in fact, paying for the privilege of owning those devices, where does that data go? It's your data, you could argue. Certainly, it's personal data in terms of things which are attributable and identify you. So it's certainly your data in that sense. Do you profit? If, for example, you are looking at a website and a few hours later, the same kind of thing that you're looking at appears as an advert, what does that tell you where that data is going? It's going, I would suggest, almost certainly on a commercial basis to people who are realizing that you're interested in their wares, what they are prepared and what they can sell you. Now, if you were to say, well, I'm interested in X or Y, then you are giving marketing material to a company. Why would you not expect, and why should you not expect, I would say, something in return for that? Let's hope that Web3, with its greater user ownership, with its greater ability to control, and with the blockchain to document where data goes, has a role to play. Be aware that your data is a valuable commodity. A classic example, which is an analogy which I hope has merit for you. If someone asks to use your car and drives it as a taxi for the day, then brings it back having made $100 and says, thank you, would you be happy with that? Would you think that's something which is fair? And the value of data, I can't stress this enough. The value of data is something which is completely and utterly underutilized, underappreciated, and not understood. And at the moment, a lot of the very large corporates have made handsome, more than handsome, millions and potentially billions of dollars over the use of other people's data. Some entrepreneurs have bought transport companies, not to provide a service principally, but to have access to the data that those transport companies give and engender and allow. Delivery services know all or many of their customer preferences and how often they buy and what they do. That has so much value. And so my plea to you, clever people who have had such wonderful news today, is when you are looking at Web3, and something, by the way, I'm not in any way suggesting that Web3 is not a very positive step forward. But when you are looking at Web3, please look at the engine room of Web3. Look at the data. Look at the rights and obligations and duties over that data. Look at the value. Make sure that Web3 is something which is giving positive value in terms of the engine room of the data. And so I hope that my remarks have assisted in terms of at least giving you a focus as to where your thoughts ought to be in terms of the engine room of anything, which is data. Time has not permitted me, unfortunately, to talk a little bit about AI, but just this. AI is something which is driven by data. All of the AI processes are driven through the engine room of data. The European AI Act, coming into force next year, basically classifies algorithmic processes into 4 different, so prohibited, high, medium, low risk, but that's all based upon data and what happens. And so please examine the central component in these fantastic innovations, Web3, AI, algorithmic processes, but examine what's happening in terms of the raw material of the data, which is always the first question you have to ask, and ask whether that is being distributed fairly, economically properly, and in accordance with good practice. And so I wish you very, very best in terms of all your fantastic celebrations and achievements which have culminated today. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for your time, Dean. That was superb, superbly excellent. Students, graduates, I hope you've taken that into account. Gabby?
Thank you so much, Dean. Thank you so much for the privilege of sharing your knowledge with us. I truly, and I have to say on behalf of NLT, Blockchain Let's Group, thank you so much. So students, graduates, everybody, let's say thank you, Dean.
Now we have to tell Dean the way we do it. Big up yourself, Dean.
Thank you.
For knowledge. So much gems. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dean. So guys, that's the beauty of No Long Ting. Just bringing these caring professionals. That's something else I want to say about you, Dean. I appreciate the fact that you are at the top of your field and you're still taking the moment at the time to come and speak to individuals and students and professionals who want to learn and want to be better. That says a lot about you as a person and as a professional. So thank you.
No, it's my absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. So we are going to have now, everybody put Paris in the chat. You know what I'm about to talk about. But P-A-R-I-S in the chat as we introduce our next keynote speakers. Joining illustrious company like Dean to speak to us today, we have Aurélien Berger, coming from XRPL Commons and the Aquarium Residency. Because, I love to say, we're giving you the potential to go to Paris, to flex those skills and learn more and actually bring real workable and valuable and viable ideas in Web3. Because the NLT is not about just giving you the Web3 fish, we're also teaching you to fish for a lifetime. So Aurelian, thank you so much for being here with us, and take it away.
Thank you very much, Gabby. I love your energy. Really, I try to be as energetic as yourself, but it's impossible. So let me try to share something with you, and you will let me know if it's working. Just one second. I like to have the interview. Yep. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So thank you, Gabi. Thank you, Brian. My name is Aurélien, and I'm the director of the Aquarium Residency. I know that you had the opportunity to see the presentation of my colleagues, Cyril. There was Vera, there was Chris, and I hope you enjoyed a lot their technical session. So tonight it won't be a technical session at all. And I want to thank a lot Brian and Gabi for giving me this opportunity and to talk with you. It's a real honor and a real pleasure to be with you for this very special moment. It's the end of the bootcamp for you. So I know you are expecting this final evening. So I try to give you a few tips, advice with my humble experience. And before starting, I would like to congratulate you. I know it was a long bootcamp for you. You spent a lot of time to digest new concept about Web3, about blockchain. It's not obvious. It requires a lot of work to deep dive into this new area. So congratulations to you, but it's just the beginning. Unfortunately, what's next is a lot of work, perseverance, resilience, and this is the life of entrepreneurs. I find this quote from the former founder of Gmail. So he was working at Google, of course. Google has this 20% time allocated for innovation. So he uses Friday or his 20% time to develop the Gmail. And he was quoted by after Sam Altman, that is famous for having launched OpenAI. And he's giving these traits that defines successful entrepreneurs. Obsession, focus, frugality, and love. So apart from all the technical skills that you have developed, I think now what you need to keep on learning is working on your soft skills and or your resilience trait, resilience capability to deliver a product and an offer. So this is about the entrepreneur soft skills needed, and I love to quote this entrepreneur as well, this investor from A6 Indeed, saying in his book Read, Write, Own, software is an art form because defining these developers, entrepreneurs, designers, like artists, inspired us to create the Aquarium Residency. So we truly believe that there's a lot of real comparison between the software developer, the craftsman, the craftswoman, and the artist. So maybe tonight I will do a short parallel between entrepreneur, artist in the Web3 ecosystem and music, because I like this kind of art, I like music. So I will try to illustrate my few advices with metaphor of music. In music, there's three key elements, as you may know: melody, harmony, and rhythm. So I try to find what would be your line of conduct for your Web3 journey about those three key elements. So of course, all these tools are the same for all the musicians. They have the same key, the same notes, the same instrument. And what makes the great album, the great music, is the artist and the way he harmonizes, he craft the melody, and the way he build the rhythm around that. So I will start with the melody. So you probably had advices on building product, but I'm sure you heard a lot that the idea is not enough, and what is key is the value proposition. So I hope that what will remain after this bootcamp is that you need to solve a real problem for a real person, what we call the problem and the persona and the value proposition. The value proposition needs to solve the problem of someone who will be able to pay for this product. So you need to work in this objective. Follow your ID, but ID is the point of the starting point. And actually, the starting point is even more often not an ID, but a problem that you really want to solve. So that the solution that you will craft may evolve, you may pivot, but what you want to keep on working on is the problem. So what is unique in terms of melody? I would say it's your signature, your mission, your value proposition, your product. Knowing that in the Web3 area, the product is very specific, you need to probably define a more architectured product, because usually if I take the example of an application in a Web3 environment, you will develop the application like in a Web2 environment. So this is the first product, software, an application with a front end, a back end, with data, database. You will have to integrate with blockchain ecosystem. So you will have to integrate with what we call wallets and various blockchain. And third point, in your product, you will have to manage the on-chain data. So I'm sure you talked about that, how to define what are the data that you want to give to the user. And the professor who talked just before me was talking about the importance of ownership of the data. So what we call the data on chain. And this is another product. You will need to define this NFT, this token that you will launch. And it's a lot of work because it's like a sub-product. You will need to manage it even after the launch because you need to follow the liquidity, you need to follow the specificities of this collection, of these NFTs, of the secondary market, and follow the prices. So it's even more complex than a Web2 product. So don't imagine that being Web3, it's faster and easier than Web2 area. It's really more complex, even though you can leverage some new element of financing, because if you launch a token, you can leverage a new way of financing your project that you may not have in the Web2 area. So I would say your melody, it's the protocol, the problem that you're going to solve the product, and the unique signature that you will put on that. Harmony, I took a few musicians from the Caribbean. This is the funny old stuff for the old people like myself who used to listen salsa from the Caribbean, and Hector Lavoe, the Paquito not Paquito de Rivera, yes, the flautist, saxophonist. So it was a combination of a lot of talent in the Caribbean when they launched salsa music in New York, and they wanted to launch it in the Americas. So they gather with Johnny Pacheco, the orchestra, the chef d'orchestre. He gathered all these talents to build a big team of all the individual talent of the label, the music label. So for you, it's the same. You need to build an harmony with your team, with the ecosystem. You cannot build something in your garage, in your own area. Even if we see some new emergence of AI project that becomes unicorn with a team of a very reduced team, but still they have a team. It's very rare to be successful with only one person. So don't stay alone. Keep the contact with the people that were invited to be guests. Keep the contact with Gabi, with Brian, with all your teammates from the bootcamp, with myself, with the XRPL Commons teams, of course. Don't stay alone, And the advantage of the Web3 ecosystem is that it's really easy to get in touch with other founders. It would be really much more difficult to get in touch with, let's say, the founder of Uber, Airbnb, Google. But in Web3 area, it's easier to meet them, to discuss with them, to interact with them in various social networks. So leverage this. Harmony is the group of people, and yeah. And then I try to find a Nigerian musician. So he's Babatunde Olatunji. I hope I pronounce it well. I love African countries and Caribbean. I used to work in the telecom industry and went in many countries because I work with many telecom operators from this continent in Kenya, in Tanzania, in Congo, and South Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, and so on. So, and this is why I wanted to leverage this artistic vibe that you probably have, and as well in the Caribbean, you have this artistic vibe that you can leverage, and you need to do the same with your entrepreneur journey when you build some new product. So going back to the rhythm, and I wanted to talk about the execution. When I talked about the idea, I said the idea is nothing without the execution. So it's a famous quote, but really, yes, focus on execution and not being too shy to launch a prototype, a beta version of your product, because this is the pretext and this is the opportunity to gather feedback, and it's the fast lane for improvement. So launch fast, but build fast, and get feedback, get improvement, and then work on that. So you need to iterate. Many young startups use the agile methodology, such as Scrum when the team is small. So iterate fast, build, learn, improve. So the execution and the regularity, the discipline that you will put in the product is really key. And you need to keep on learning and improving. So, and this is the main objective of the aquarium. We invite entrepreneurs with diverse background profile. And the first thing they do is learn and then put the theory into practice and develop the first application, see how they can interact with the blockchain, see what is a transaction, how to make a transaction, how to verify that it's scripted, interact with wallet, and so on. So it's very important to practice. Yeah, all that to say that you have all the power in your hands. You need a lot of work and dedication. The idea is to compose music and not noise. And XRPL Commons was one of the sponsor of this bootcamp. So feel free to get in touch with us. We just finished the 5th residency program working on gaming and gamified experiences. We are about to launch the new one on AI and blockchain in 3 weeks. We invited already almost 60 people from 19 countries. I know you interacted with Dels, who is from Nigeria. We had a previous entrepreneur, a woman from Nigeria and UK as well, Modupe. So we are really happy to welcome diversity and to challenge projects from wherever they're coming. We're welcoming the diversity of project as well. Sometimes it's the ideation phase. Sometimes it's almost pre-seed project. So it's really important to gather people, interact, and let them challenge and learn together. Feel free to get in touch with us to apply. I know that some of you applied. This program is super selective, of course, but you followed an amazing bootcamp. So I'm sure it gives the first opportunity to learn more and to craft your project and craft your application. And I hope we will receive some application from you guys. And if you have any question, feel free to keep in touch with us. And via Brian, via Gabriel or myself or all the team that you met in XRPL Commons, we are very accessible and we'll be happy to get back to you and answer to your request. So thank you. Thank you very much for having listened to me. I hope it was not too long. The main idea is fun working and congratulations. Enjoy tonight and then back to work.
Thanks, Aurélien. That was fantastic. Just before you drop off, let me add Gabby there. And Aurélien, you probably want to stop sharing your slides.
Sure.
Aurélien, that was fantastic. That was beautiful. And you know how you are giving your slides with the musical background. I used to be a DJ, and I think Gabby is in a choir orchestra in a Barbados church. So it flowed seamlessly. That was spot on. So thank you, and thank you for the emphasis, like on prototype. Just do something. Be part
Yeah.
of something and do something, and just try. So thank you very much for those important takeaways. So Gabby, back to you.
Thank you so much, Aurélien, as
Thank you.
well. And thank you again for providing this opportunity and the potential for having this opportunity to our participants. Guys, put some claps in the chat for Aurélien,
Thank you.
okay?
Great bye to see my kids and family. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye, Aurélien.
So, it's so beautiful. I'm sure you guys are enjoying all of our fantastic keynotes today as we celebrate you, our NLT graduates who made it successfully to the end of the program. So we're moving on to our next keynote speaker, great friend of mine, great friend of NLT and BLG, Mr. Sam Thompson. So Sam is so amazing. Sam, we met in Barbados. Let me bring you to the top, pin you up, while we big you up. Sam is absolutely incredible. He works with Grant Thornton, a BVI, and they're one of the biggest and leading firms with regards to insolvency, restructuring, and asset recovery in the field of Web3 cryptocurrencies and all things digital. So he focuses on a wide variety of work like traditional insolvency, asset recovery with unique funding solutions, restructuring, forensic accounting, and digital assets. So this is the guy, okay? When you want to talk about all asset recovery. So put some claps in the chat. I want to see welcome Sam. Let's type welcome Sam as he gives us his remarks. Take it away, Sam.
Thank you very much. That is the most generous introduction I've ever been given in my entire life. And I will try my best to live up to it for you guys. I've written something a bit different to talk to you guys about today. I didn't want to make it too boring and dull and talk about asset recovery and accountancy. So I thought I'd talk a bit about how my career developed from quite a normal, very boring path into getting involved with crypto, and then what could be the next things to look out for? What could be the next things? How does this develop? And what to look out for, how to progress that. So first of all, huge thank you for having me to speak. Massive privilege to speak for all you guys. And more importantly, huge congratulations to everyone who's graduating from the bootcamp today. And to Brian and Gabby for having me here to speak. So as Gabby said there, I work for an accountancy firm called Grant Thornton. We're the 6th biggest accountancy firm in the world, and we have offices everywhere. We are in more countries than McDonald's. So I'm told by our marketing team, at least. I've not been to verify that myself, but my plan is to try and do that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what you've learned and how we can develop that into entrepreneurial work or your working life or your career or however that looks. And I'm going to talk about then what I did, how my career progressed, and how I got into digital assets and crypto, and how it made what is quite a boring job a lot more exciting. So my background is as an accountant, and I'm not a very academic person at all. I didn't get a degree, I didn't go to university, and I did become a qualified accountant, but that requires 15 exams to qualify, and it took me 33 attempts to get through those exams. So I thoroughly think there is so much value and importance in things like this boot camp. So don't ever let struggling with exams or qualifications, no matter what age you are, put you off a career or any entrepreneurial opportunities you've got out there. I thoroughly encourage you to keep going. Just because exams aren't your thing doesn't mean other things can't be as well. So I did my accountancy qualification whilst I was working. So I started doing that when I was 19. And I work in an area called asset recovery and insolvency. And we do some restructuring work as well. So what we kind of generally do, what that means is we give financial advice to companies and people who find themselves in some sort of financial difficulty. They're in they've got a bit of a problem and they come to us to try and help them solve that. So we might be trying to close down their companies. We might help people collect their debts for them. Or if there's been some sort of wrongdoing, like a fraud or a hack, we might try and help them to recover those. So I'm originally from England. And when I started doing this kind of work back there, I worked with lots of small local businesses and we saw all sorts of things. That was builders, recruitment agencies, people that fitted windows in buildings. It was really traditional, old-fashioned businesses. And then in 2001, so 4 years ago now, I suddenly decided I was going to do something different in my life. I had to move abroad. I had to do something, and I started to look at offshore work. And that takes you to places like Hong Kong or Singapore or the Cayman Islands. And I accidentally fell into the British Virgin Islands, we call the BVI, and I relocated out here. So you might have seen or heard about the British Virgin Islands because of the companies that we have here. And a lot of people use BVI companies. And the main reason people come out here and use a BVI company is because of the privacy that it brings you. So in most other countries, particularly England, for example, if you want to ever find out something about a company or an asset, whether that's a house or a boat, there is a big online register that tells you all about that company, all about the asset, all about the people, and you can find out who owns that, who controls it. But we don't have that here in the BVI. So if people want to have their information protected so that people don't know everything they own, know all their assets, which I completely understand. I wouldn't want everyone knowing what I own out there on the internet. People come to the BVI to protect that information and have that privacy. So we see a huge amount of BVI companies being set up. And as time goes on, we're seeing lots more digital assets and crypto companies come and use that here. So my work here in the BVI is very similar, but much bigger assets, much bigger sums of money that we see. But ultimately, it's the same sort of thing. It's just a few more zeros on the page. And the people that come and use these BVI companies have assets all over the world, and they live all over the world. The BVI is a tiny country. It's 2 miles wide by 10 miles long, and we have 30,000 people here living here, which is a tiny, tiny population. So all the people that use them and all the assets are everywhere. We do work throughout Africa. We do a lot of work in Asia. We do work in South America, and I have work all over the Caribbean, in Trinidad, Antigua, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, loads of different countries. But unfortunately, that privacy that brings people here to the BVI also attracts people who might get involved with frauds and hacks as well. So this leads to us working on some pretty cool assets. I've dealt with taking a super yacht off the Saudi prince because he didn't pay his debts back. We've taken private jets off Chinese businessmen who had fallen into disputes and arguments about those jets. And we have taken control of an oil mine in Africa, which fell into a dispute as well. But more recently, we've seen a lot of big crypto exchanges and crypto projects being set up here in the BVI. And initially at the beginning, a lot of what we ended up doing was that we saw a lot of hacks happen. So 3 to 4 years ago, we did very little crypto work. I had very little knowledge, but as we started to receive more and more of these inquiries, we started to decide it's something that we needed to get into more. So we invested lots of time and money to educate ourselves. Wanted to learn more about it. We decided this was an industry that was going to develop and progress. We needed to learn and be in there. So we used our existing knowledge that we had. A lot of the techniques, the investigations work that we already did, we supplemented those with that knowledge and understanding of crypto. So we started working with companies like Chainalysis, who you might have heard of, and we invested in their software to help us trace crypto that had been stolen on the blockchain. So this can be really exciting. We can get it where someone contacts us and said, I've been hacked, someone's stolen my crypto, and those funds might still be moving around as we're looking at them. We might be watching that stolen crypto move from address to account, and we're watching it, we're adding flags on those, we're tagging those and watching where they're going. And as you'll probably know, a lot of that information there on the blockchain is still anonymous. So we don't know who that hacker is, which makes it very hard to get that recovery for people. So what we often have to do is we wait until the hacker reaches an exchange or they try to move that crypto back into fiat currency. And that then gives us a window of time to try and work out who they are and what they're doing. So if we can identify an exchange they're using, because don't forget when they go to that exchange, they set up their account, they put in their details, they might give their identity and their information to them. We can use the BVI courts here to force those exchanges to hand over details for those hackers. And then once we've got those hackers' details, we can look at starting legal proceedings all around the world, wherever that might need to be, to try and pursue their stolen assets from them. And that doesn't have to necessarily be the crypto itself. It might be that we try and get that exact bit of crypto back. But if we can see that that person owns shares or even a house or a car, something's tangible, something you can physically touch, we might try and attach ourselves to that asset rather than the crypto itself. So there's lots of different ways that we can try and recover money for people. And what we also have is we have a team that does what we call corporate intelligence work. And that might go as far as following people, tracing people, seeing what's going. But what that often is we give them a name of a person or a company or a asset, something, and they do a report for us. And they'll go through things like social media profiles, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. They'll look through online forums and they'll look through all those online registers, which do exist in some countries. And they'll put together a huge portfolio of information about these people. And some fascinating things come up, some really interesting ideas and things for us to follow up on them. And that work on the hacks has also progressed and developed into us helping to close down companies and exchanges. And it's very similar to those traditional businesses that I first saw in England in a way. So we're helping to close down Cryptopia, and that was an exchange that was in New Zealand. And they are in the process of distributing all the money that was left over back to those account holders and investors. We're also closing down Bittrex, which you might have heard of. That was quite a big mainstream exchange, and that was based in Bermuda. And unfortunately, the government in Bermuda made it quite difficult to trade with all the regulations and the requirements they're adding. And the exchange eventually said they'd had enough and they wanted to close that down. So we're helping them to do that. We also work on funds which are invested in crypto. And when we talk about a fund here, that's where a group of investors all put their money together and they give that money to a fund manager and they go and invest that in crypto. And they're trying to generate a return and make some profit for them. Unfortunately, sometimes those funds have some financial difficulties and we have to step in to either help them try and manage that fund or to close it down and take out what they can and make something back. We're also helping with the liquidation and closing down of a BVI company, which holds a DAO, a decentralized or autonomous organization, and that is held as part of a BVI trust. And that DAO had over $2 billion US in it when it was trading at its peak, and we're now helping them close down and finalize that project. there's not been many projects that involve DAOs that have got to this stage yet. So it's going to be one of the first that we see in the world. So we're hoping we can get it done and finished pretty quickly because we want to talk about it and talk about our experience, because hopefully it'll be pretty interesting for the industry. So even though it feels like crypto and digital assets have been around for a long time now, it's a relatively new industry compared to other assets when we talk about stocks and shares and companies and gold, for example. So these bigger long-term projects are for the first time are reaching their end stages, they're closing. Things that had started 3, 5, 10 years ago, we're now seeing those start to conclude. So even as an accountant, quite a boring, dull job, we're seeing more work come from the crypto industry. And that might extend to my colleagues who work in the tax department, because people are now having to pay taxes and they're changing the rules and requirements on what you pay taxes for on the crypto you make in some countries. You might have to prepare accounts records. So how do we account for those crypto assets? How do we value those? And there's lots of other areas where people might need financial advice, which 5 or 10 years ago, no one would ever have imagined was something that we were doing. And don't forget, there's also other new industries that are developing as we're going as well. Something that we talked about earlier is AI, and Sam Altman, who is developing one of the newest platforms that people are all seeming to use nowadays. And I think that's going to change, first of all, how we work, and then it's also again going to give us new areas of work. So in the same way that crypto and digital assets have developed so quickly recently, keep an eye out for those other industries that are developing. There's going to be lots of other areas of work. There's going to be lots of other opportunities out there to become involved, and always be willing to invest your time to educate yourselves on these new opportunities as they come along. So I guess what I found is, even though my career path, whether that's entrepreneurial or through employment, even doesn't feel like you're going to be involved in crypto or digital assets or AI or whatever else we start to see, it could still be influential no matter what you're doing. And you never know how that industry is going to adapt and progress in future. And when I started school, when I started my career and I first left school, I had no idea what crypto was about. I knew nothing about it. I had no idea it was going to develop to be this popular. So I guess, again, another 10 years' time, where's that going to get us? Where's that going to be? And be as open-minded as possible to all those opportunities that are out there. And if you have a huge passion for any topics or subjects, then follow those. And if you're lucky enough to work on those every day, then that is fantastic. But also, if your career, your entrepreneurial, your working life takes you along to a different topic or a different subject, then you never know how those opportunities might still integrate and work together with those passions that you have. And I guess finally, I'd say, whilst I encourage you all to work really hard, try and earn qualifications, study as much as you can, do boot camps like these. They are so helpful. Don't worry about the grades. Don't worry about the results. Don't worry about the exams. They definitely help you in the earlier stages of your career, but they don't define what you do at all. There's still lots of opportunities out there, and sometimes just, a desire to work hard, apply yourself, keep improving, a desire to earn lots of money, that might just be as important as doing the exams. So best of luck with the next stages of whatever you choose to do, however that looks. And if it is anything accounting related or anything that you think I might be helpful for, then please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to talk to anybody about their opportunities, their career, their life, and whatever they're doing. And thank you for having me today. Hope you enjoy the rest of the webinar.
Yo, Sam, big up yourself. Like, yo, that was really cool. Everybody, literally, we've been trying to drill this over the 2 weeks. You don't have to have traditional background in crypto. Literally, no one has traditional background in crypto or Web3. We all learn this at the same time. So, Sam, I'm really grateful for your time. And guys, you need to know, to see a man like Sam, you need to pay top dollar, okay? And you have him here right now. Real lucky, real got through. We say in Trinidad, you real got through. Gabby, over to you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
guys.
much, Sam. Thank you so much, Sam. Remember, it feels like just yesterday when we were chilling in Barbados together when you came down for FinTech Islands earlier this year. So thank you so much. Sam just has good energy. Okay, when you meet those people and it's just good vibes. Like Sam is good vibes, right? And thank you, because as Brian said, I love the fact that you provided that lens from an accounting perspective, right? That there's so many different avenues that our students can pursue to have a successful career in Web3 and cryptocurrency. So shout out to the chat. They're going crazy for you, Sam. Thank you so much for
All right.
coming.
Thank you, Sam.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very, very much.
Now, Gabby, let me introduce you. All right, let me pin myself. So, guys, up next we have Gabrielle Gay. I don't even know where to start in terms of introducing Gabrielle Gay. Gabby is my little sister. She's like my bestest of friends. She got me, I got her back, and like all the time, like I always revere this girl because she just makes things happen, you know what I mean? So Gabby is the founder of Arlene Bradshaw Foundation. Gabby, if you see Gabby's CV, it's full of accolades and awards. You don't even know which one to start. I'm like, Gabby, this is too much thing. Let's try take one thing, you know, like she have UN, she have ting, too much, you know what I mean? So Gabby, what I'm most grateful for is your humility and your love for what you do and for the people around you and for the students in your communities. FEMLEX cohort, the environmental people in Barbados, and I think Shanika is one of your people who you sponsored for FinTech Islands and all. So I'm really grateful, Gabby. So I'm gonna allow you to do your speech, but we at Blockchain Lex Group, Crypto Mondays Caribbean and Africa are incredibly grateful for your service and for having you with us. Thank you, Gabby. Proceed.
Okay, so thank you so much, Brian. Don't make me cry up in here. Come on, think about me. I'm gonna cry. Thank you so much. It's been such a beautiful journey with Blockchain Let's Group. Really from the beginning, like really started from the bottom, now here, right? So thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. Let me just officially introduce myself again. My name is Gabrielle Gay. I'm the CEO of Crypto Mondays Africa and Director of Educational Initiatives for Blockchain Let's Group and founder of the Early Bradshaw Foundation, reaching over 10 billion individuals and students and leaders at the intersection of law, technology, and education. So if you could not tell, I am extremely excited to be here with you today. You're graduating, and I'm so proud of all of you NLT participants. As Brian said correctly, I'm extremely passionate about the nexus of education and innovation, and that is my specialty. So why is what we're doing here at NLT, why is it so important? So in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, understanding Web3 and cryptocurrency is no longer optional, you guys. It's essential because these technologies are reshaping our economies. They're empowering individuals like you, our participants, and offering unprecedented opportunities for innovation and financial inclusion. As we saw, we had Dean, great, fantastic attorney in KC. We just heard from Sam, who's an accountant working in these fields. The opportunities are limitless, as you saw with our XRPL residency. So why the Caribbean and Africa? As you know, Brian founded Crypto Mondays Caribbean and Crypto Mondays Africa as part of the subsidiaries of Blockchain Let's Group. And this is because both the Caribbean and Africa are emerging as significant players in the Web3 space. So for example, in Africa, countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa, pause. If you're from Africa, I need you to put your country and your flag in the chat. Big yourself one time if you're from Africa, because these countries in Africa are actually leading the charge for Web3 and cryptocurrency. A recent survey revealed that 92% of respondents globally in Africa have heard of cryptocurrencies, with Nigeria and South Africa exhibiting particularly high levels of awareness. So shout out to you, Africa. And the Caribbean is not far behind. Due to initiatives like the No Long Term Program, Tech Bootcamp, we are pivotal in this movement of educating the Caribbean in cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, DeFi, and NFTs. Another pause. If you are from the Caribbean and you're here, I need you to put your island, your flag in the chat so we can represent. So, why is this actually important? What is the impact of education in bridging the knowledge gap for technology and innovation? I'm glad you asked. It's because education is the cornerstone of the digital revolution. Despite high awareness levels, there is still a significant knowledge gap hindering widespread adoption in things like Web3 and cryptocurrency. Because concerning, only 8% of global respondents, Caribbean included, actually consider themselves familiar with Web3 concepts, right? Highlighting the need for comprehensive educational initiatives like No Long Ting. So we're bridging the gap, providing this free and intensive training to you and creating job opportunities and driving economic growth in both the African and Caribbean regions to then impact the world. So finally, this is a call to action. We can embrace the future together through education and Web3 and cryptocurrencies. We can transform our societies with this immense potential. So I urge educators, I urge policymakers, entrepreneurs, and enthusiasts to join us in this NLT cause, ensuring that the Caribbean and Africa are not just participants, but leaders in the digital economy. Because together, we can harness the power of Web3, NFTs, DeFi, and blockchain to build a future that is inclusive, prosperous, and digitally empowered. Thank you so much.
Yo, thanks, Gabby. Gabby, you know what? Big up yourself. When did you write that thing down, yeah? Because you've just been chatting with me all day. What time did you write that?
Like, it came up top of my head. Honestly, I just wrote down how I felt. Just genuinely, as everybody knows, I've been passionate about education and working in space, leading since 13 years old. So I just really put my thoughts and my feelings into those 2-3 paragraphs and just spoke from the heart.
Yeah, that was real blessed. That was real blessed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yo, Kinil. Gabby, so you're gonna introduce Kinil then.
So moving on to another incredible member of our team, Keneal Legister. Where you at, Keneal? Just put
I'm
your
right
elbow.
here.
I continue.
Literally, I'm telling you guys, we need a blowhorn or something, some sound effect. I feel like we need to add the to get the people to feel what we're feeling.
Keneal is
Oh
the man
man.
with the plan. Okay. So I know when you hear IRS, you always think about people walking away in handcuffs. You know, they're going to the big house, right? Because they haven't paid their taxes. But
Right.
Keneal, he's a man of the people, all right? He's not here to take anyone away. He's here to provide the education with regards to IRS. And many persons don't recognize that the IRS is actually on the forefront of preventing financial crime with regards to tax evasion, narcos, and different areas with regards to Web3 and cryptocurrency. So Keneal is the Caribbean attaché for the Inland Revenue Services here in the Caribbean. He is the top man, the expert when it comes to all things IRS, and he is here because he's also the CEO of Crypto Mondays Caribbean and one of our key members at Blockchain Let's Grow. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together, drop some claps in the chat, and let's welcome Keneal Legister to give
Big up
his
yourself, Kinil.
Of course, of course. Pleasure, pleasure. By hook or crook, I am here. No pun intended.
All right.
Oh, it is a pleasure. Thank you guys for that energy. I love it. I think this is what our community is about. It's about us empowering each other and definitely keeping this energy alive as we educate each one. How does it go, Brian? Each one teach one.
Wait,
I'm gonna save you.
each one.
Oh man, to
Got it right?
continue that. Right, you know, you got it right. Finally, there you go. It's graduation day. I was hoping you would. No, oh man, I honestly I don't even know how I follow up after Gabby. I think she nailed it. But furthermore, let me keep this formal. Again, my name is Keneal Legister. I am part of Team Crypto Mondays Caribbean and Africa as part of the Blockchain Lex group. It goes without saying that our team here is about community. Essentially, when we started to formulate this under the massive mind of Brian, we said when we're gonna do this for the youth and for everyone. Make sure we could be inclusive, and whatever we do, we do it with full energy. We want to be 100% us and keep it relevant for everyone. So as you went through this, I hope that's what you felt. 100% hope that's what you felt. Now, to be honest, I had something written, and as Gabby went on, I felt the energy. I threw it. There's a garbage you can't see here, and I will pick up my phone because my computer, the network went down here. I want to say that essentially I felt I had to give you this from the heart, from the mind. So I literally just wrote down 4 things that were important for me to get to you. And the one word I wrote and circled the word community. That's what we're doing this for. Whatever your community is, one, I hope it involves us continuously. I hope as you continue to figure out what these endeavors are, these business ideas, these solutions for your community, these solutions for you, you keep us in mind as well as you go forward, and our partners as you do what you're going to do. Our theory, or as mine, is that each one of us has learned something. Make sure we pass it on by teaching each one. I think that's why I always joke with Brian, each one teach one. That is part of our community. We are humble in what we do. We don't we strive to make sure everyone is included in some fashion, whether it's their idea, their thoughts, their business practices, or just wanting to learn. Because the one thing, as even Gabby has brought up, that education is the key. The solution, that's for you to figure out once you have all this education. So with that said, here at No Long Ting, I'm gonna keep this short, no pun intended. We want to say, I hope whatever you've learned, you apply it. Whatever you could think of, I hope you've built it. And to my team at Crypto Mondays, I hope we keep doing what we do, and I hope every other student, entrepreneur, and community member learn from this and want to join our team and make us bigger and better. One love, and I appreciate you all.
Yo, that was literally no luck thing, fam. Okay.
I got to keep it within the theme, but I appreciate y'all. Seriously, that's humbly what I gotta say.
Okay.
Congrats, guys. Congrats.
Thank you, Devon. Okay, Gabby, you want to introduce Devon?
Absolutely. So it's great. It gives me such great pleasure to introduce the next member of our team.
Hold up, Gabby. I think somebody needs to mute the mic. Devon, you want to mute your mic first?
Let's see.
Gabby, you have your mic on now. Okay, cool.
Great. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce the next member of our team. And it's so wonderful because everybody just came together so organically. Right? Devin became a member of the team through No Long Ting and our initiatives as well. Brian showed to him, they partnered, and just everybody just clicked via LinkedIn. And what's special about Devin is that it goes back to what we were talking about having non-traditional genesis and beginnings into Web3. Because Devin is, listen, a compliance and risk aficionado, okay? And he is just the man when it comes to all things detail, when it comes to Web3 and blockchain, risk and compliance. Oh, you need to hear from Mr. Devon Urick, okay? And along with that, he also does this for one of the largest and most influential media platforms across the entire world, iHeartMedia. And on top of that, he also is a motivational speaker, a poet, and just a good man of the people. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our Blockchain Let's Group advisor, the man himself, Mr. Devon Urick.
Yo, big up, Unc.
Man, Gabby, you always deliver the intros. I'm gonna make sure I use that going forward as an intro when I have my meetings that I heard. Before I even say my first couple words, I'm just gonna hit play and we're gonna get the ball rolling because that was incredible. So I appreciate that. Uh, Before I get into the words, everybody's sharing their personal thoughts, and I wanted to do the same. It's nothing more gratifying when I get to speak on platforms like this for this purpose, because I'm all about living within purpose. And, this is my second time now being humbled, being just feeling a level of honor that I get to speak on such a platform to our next generation of leaders. I did it last year. It was basically the highlight of my year, if you want to be honest. And it proves to be the case today. So first and foremost, congratulations, everybody. Let me say up front this, though. You didn't just finish boot camp. You stepped into your next identity. You showed up for something that isn't mainstream, that isn't always understood, and frankly, that challenges everything we think about when we know about values, access, and trust. And that takes courage, right? And in Web3, courage is the new currency. See, I've spent my career, as Gabby said, in worlds of risk, compliance, and strategy. I've seen legacy systems up close and how they work, where they fail, and most importantly, who gets left out. And that's why I care about what you're building, because it's not just innovation, it's intervention. See, I'm thinking about it next level. It's rewriting the rules, it's reclaiming the power, it's building systems that are inclusive by design, not by expectation. But with that comes great responsibility. It's easy to chase hype, it's harder to build with discipline. It's easy to talk decentralization, but it's harder to live in an accountability manner, right? So here's my challenge to you: lead like you're already being trusted. Build like someone else's future depends on it, because it does. You're here to set standards. And as you walk into your next chapter as developers, as strategists, founders, or even disruptors, I want you to remember this: innovation without intention is noise, but innovation with integrity, that's a real legacy. So keep your focus sharp, keep your character solid, and never forget that what you're building isn't just for today, it's for the ones who come after you. So congratulations, everybody. I am proud of all of you guys, and let's continue to build what truly matters.
Yo, as usual, you drop the lines and big up yourself. Um, Adila, then Gabby. So, Gabby,
Yeah. So thank you. You see, guys, did I not tell you that Devin is so motivating? Thank you so much, Devin. Thank you for those words, those wise words, as always. And you see, the chat is going crazy, as always, for all of our speakers. Thank you so much, Devin. And as you can see, why he is a blockchain Let's Group advisor, just bringing that wealth of experience, but also that heart to the space. So thank you, Devin, for always being there for us, and we appreciate it. So speaking of blockchain Let's Group advisors who take the cake, it gives me so much honor and pleasure to welcome our next keynote from our blockchain Let's Group advisor and Web3 cryptocurrency phenomenon herself, Miss Adela Holloway. So who is Adela, you may ask? Adela serves in so many capacities. She's on the board of directors. She oversees over 8 committees on behalf of risk and compliance organizations, such as the blockchain DNA blockchain brokerage. She's also the principal advisor and CEO of DNA blockchain brokerage, which specializes in blockchain solutions for the financial sector. She also previously held the esteemed position of chair for the NAB CRMPS, where she demonstrated her commitment to roles in governance and compliance. So, graduates, participants, put some claps in the chat for our Blockchain Let's Group advisor, Adela Holloway.
Oh, wow. Listen, Gabby, thank you so much for such an honorary introduction. You know, I wouldn't say that I began my career in blockchain technology, and it's so nice to have the ability to be in this community. And it's also great for the students to understand that this is a ongoing futuristic opportunity that is going to be with them for the next 10 years or more of their life. This is an opportunity to be in the future right now. What you're building and what you're doing is only going to propel you, and you already have an advantage over all of the counterparts that you're going to face in the places where you are. This opportunity is the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm so happy that everybody took their time to go through this boot camp, because this camp is only going to prepare you for the future as we know it today in our financial economy. This is what I've been going across preaching to all of the boards and all of the companies and all the places that I represent. This is what everyone understands now to be our next phase in our financial future. Bridging the gap between traditional finance and blockchain technology has gotten even more challenging, because there is a loss for information, and we're hoping that all of you will be able to go now and spread that knowledge to your prospective places. I'm so excited again that you took this challenge. I'm so happy that now you're able to propel yourself and prepare for what's going to be the new phase of our world economics. This is so important because now you harness a information that not many people have, and now you'll be able to create and build your own world. When was the last time that we had that opportunity where we can create and build our own world, especially in the economic world? This is an opportunity that's not foreshadowed that we would even think that we would have, but you have this opportunity now. So the question is, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to build your future? This is the question you should be asking yourself as you walk out of this meeting today. Now that I have this information, how am I going to change the world with it? This is the question I even ask myself, gaining all of the information I've gained over the past 5 years, working for all the big industry companies. How am I going to prepare now to help the rest of the world change? So that's the challenge I impart to everybody. How are you going to the next phase of your life? How are you going to apply what you learned in this boot camp to the next phase of the world, and how the world is going to propel itself in the future? And with that, I bid everyone a farewell. I bid everyone the opportunity to know that you have the keys in your hand now. The question is, what are you going to do with it? What doors are you going to open with it? Thank you so much.
Wow, Adila. Wow. Are you attending the same book club as Devon? Because you're dropping them lines as well. Yeah, last week it was Kinil. Today it's you. Like, Devon, I need to join that book club. Seriously, because I'm sounding ghetto. Yo.
Love it. I love that. Is such a beautiful question, because now you have the tools, participants and graduates. What are you gonna do with it? What's the next step, right? It's all up to you. I love that, Adela. I love that. And thank you. So
Well,
everybody say thank you, Adela, for those gems.
Adila, big up yourself. It's the same. And Adila, before you go, Devon, just quickly and mic yourself. There was that thing you said, innovation without passion. Like it's really struck a chord, like literally. It's like having a car without fuel, innovation without passion. It doesn't go anywhere. Guys, let that drop. Devon, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to echo. I mean, that's what it's about, right? Because if you're not doing anything with passion, then you're not really invested in it. You're not truly living in its purpose. And if you're not doing anything with purpose, you won't do it intentionally. So.
Wow. Big up yourself.
Agreed. And I
Absolutely.
hope, graduates and participants, just everyone here, I hope you can see that we are passionate at NLT about making your life better through Web3 and cryptocurrency and blockchain opportunities and blockchain education. So our next speaker is extremely special to me. And she knows who she is. We're about to introduce our director of communications and all things PR, Belisa Guelen out of Lesotho, baby. Now, let me tell you about Belisa, right? Let me tell you about Belisa. So, Belisa has had such a transformative journey. Her journey started at, my foundation, the Early Bachelor Foundation, with NLT's sister program, which is the FEMLEX cohort program. And we have a fintech component that awesome attorney Brian Mondo, he teaches that fintech components. He teaches all things blockchain to our FLC ambassadors. So let me pin yes. So Belisa was one of our truly, truly outstanding FLC ambassadors of our 2024 FLC Eco-Technology Justice cohort. And then she went on to essentially part 2 of the sister program, this program, the No Long Ting, and she also graduated as an outstanding achiever. But wait, there's more. What we love about Belisa is that she took the initiative. She stayed with us, right? Connected with all of us at BLG. And then she reached out. She took the initiative. Remember Adela, remember Devin, what they said. What are you going to do with the opportunities that are handed to you? You need to talk to this girl right here, okay? She's the one, because she reached out and said, how can I be of service? How can I take my career higher with you guys? She's a technology lawyer. She's a qualified lawyer from Lesotho, Africa, and she's focused on all things technology, and she has gifted us with her presence at BLG. So without further ado, Belisa, let's welcome Belisa in the chat as she brings a special call. Go ahead, Belisa.
Sorry, Palesa, before you start, I need to mute everybody's mics and then unmute yours. Okay, Palesa, unmute yours, please.
Hey, wow. I need to match that energy, truly. All right, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here. It's such an honor, and I would like to, firstly, let me thank the mentors and the partners who dedicated that time, their energy, their expertise to educate us through this journey, And I would just like to tell them that your commitment in nurturing Africa's future tech leaders does not go unnoticed at all. So what I would just like to mention is that although I was just a mentor this time around, I have learned so much, okay? I've learned so much, and I would like to think that I'm also graduating today. Why do I say this? It's because this bootcamp, it has in a way strengthened the sense of purpose. I am no longer sitting back and complaining about my country is not doing this, my country is not doing that. I'm happy to tell you that because of this bootcamp, the discussions that we had here, I have initiated a petition to the ministry responsible for regulations of cryptocurrency and blockchain. The support from my brothers and sisters in Lesotho is remarkable. The Basotho youth is not just does not actually just desire the protection. It actually wants to participate in the opportunities presented by these technologies. So basically, I'm really happy for the moment that I shared here. And to everyone graduating today, congratulations, and remember this. The knowledge sharing does not stop here. It continues. Let's go and empower our countries, our communities with the knowledge, because knowledge is power. Thank you very much.
Wow, Palesa. I can literally say this. I personally work So I work with the whole team every day, but I work with Palesa like literally all the time. Like even after this, we're gonna go back to work. And Palesa, like you're literally a blessing. Like since you joined us, things are even moving much more faster and processes are moving swimmingly. Like, you know, like you're literally top notch. I keep saying Palesa is outstanding, but I literally need her to understand that I'm never gonna say enough of that. She's literally outstanding. At times, I find myself to be very complicated and stubborn, and I assume people know what's in my mind and all that. But literally, somebody who literally understands it is Palesa. She takes my crooked and tidy ideas and refines them. So everything that you've been saying in BLG since November, December, when Palesa joined us, the front end is all Palesa. So Palesa, on behalf of our team, I'm so grateful and just wish you the best. And the shit you're doing in Lesotho, like that's top notch. So big up yourself, Palesa. Gabby.
Yes, thank you. You know, and I just feel as if we're just watching, you know, your little baby grow, you know, because I said, you know, from meeting her at FLC to just seeing the growth and just so inspiring. And this is why we do what we do, right? And oh, I see Princess. Hey, girl, Princess Bassy, FLC. I don't know, there are a couple other FLC ambassadors here. And as Brian said earlier, Shanika Bowen, who is also part of our FinTech Islands cohort in January, who we'll be hearing from in a little bit.
You know,
So
Gabby, before you proceed, you know, I'm here watching, yeah, and I can literally see Princess looking at Palesa with so much love and joy and pride. You know, she's just like, go on, speak, sister. No, like for real. Like that is the love we're trying to cultivate in our community. That you're not just happy for yourself, but you're happy for the next person as well. And literally, I'm sat here watching, and I could just see Prince is just looking at Palesa and being like, yo, you go, girl, you go kill it. So yeah, Gabby, back to
girls
you.
are so special. Like I'm a little biased, maybe, but no, FLC ambassadors and NLT participants. I think it's because honestly, Brian, because we are genuine ourselves. I think that's how we attract similar individuals, right? Because you know, it's the energy never lies, right?
Yeah.
So I that's why our participants are so amazing. So speaking of participants, right, and being amazing and contributions, that's exactly what we're going to get into right now. Because the thing about it is that we've had all these mentors, we've had all these partners, but we cannot have a program without the actual participants. NLT Spring Break Edition would never have been successful if we actually didn't have people that showed up for class, stuck it through, dedicated themselves, and came out on top and graduating today. So we're going to get some perspectives from the students themselves, and we're so excited to hear from you. So I am going to welcome to the stage. Where's Ian? Where you are, Ian?
Sorry, Gabby, right now it's Nino doing it. Ian is gonna do
Oh,
in
so we're
the,
going to leave
the
it first.
later.
No worries.
Yeah.
No, so I had to swap for Evan. He had something to go.
No
But
problem at all. So
I
let me say, Nino,
no.
because Nino is our guy. Let me introduce Nino. We got to give you a proper introduction, Nino. Let me tell you all
Okay.
about Nino. What we love at BLG is that Nino, fifth work, when Brian reached out to Nino, it was a done deal. Anytime you go through a career journey, I'm sure all of you at some point have met people that said, yeah, we're going to do it. And we're so excited to be a part of it. And then when it's actually time to do the work, no, you hear the crickets, right? You never see them again. They disappear. But that was not the case with fifth work, okay? Brian linked up with them, said, look, we're going to do this NLT bootcamp. You're going to provide actual guidance, structured guidance, and idea-thon and opportunity for individuals across the Caribbean, Africa, and the world. And fifth work, Nino, Evan, they stepped up and they stepped out. They said, yes, and they came through. So Fifthwork, as you know, is one of the leading platforms for education and for idea development, profitable idea development in Web3 and cryptocurrency. So welcome, Nino, to give us your remarks, and thank you so much for being such a critical part of NLT. Take it away, Nino.
So Gabby, again, forgive me for butting in, yeah. I and I just want to be grateful to Nino, and as Princess has just put down there, Nino the mysterious. Nino. So Nino, and here I've pinned Blaine. Blaine is Nino's brother. Blaine, you want to show us your face, please, just for the first time?
To give you a little pin.
I don't know if he's ready.
Oh, he's not ready.
I don't know.
Almost. Give me 1 second.
All right.
I'll start already.
No, hold up, Nino. Let me finish my
Okay.
introduction and take
All right.
So anyway, Nino, Blaine, Rommel, Evan, the whole Fifthwork crew, this wouldn't be possible without you. So we are really, really grateful for having you as partners on this journey. And as you develop the revamped platform, we're looking forward to great things in the future. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Nino, and the mic is yours.
All right. First of all, my kids told me the other day they'd never seen me cry. But honestly, it stays like this. It's seeing this stuff that makes me get emotional. And I really do appreciate everybody that came here. You know, this is, I mean, I do so much, but this is what actually gives me joy. This is what keeps me going. So I know that you guys are all appreciative of us and Blockchain Lex Group, but honestly, it's about you guys. It always has been. I did want to say thank you to Brian and his team. You guys, you know, like Gabby said, we talk about it, but then, you know, some people just don't show up, don't deliver. But with Brian, he's the one pushing me. It's normally the other way around. So it's to get like, I think when we were first starting, it was daily calls, never ending. And it's good though. It really is good to see, you know, to have that Gabby level energy, you know, supporting you on the back end. And I did want to say, I took notes, but Camille, don't worry, no one can follow Gabby. No one can match that energy. She's perfect for this job. Palesa, perfect for her job. Honestly, it's the team that we have is really impressive. And I wanted to say thank you to Blockchain Lex for that. But I do have some notes that I got to go through. So I did want to say we had 78 unique submissions in the Ideathon. And if you heard the previous speeches, I'm just going to give you hints at who won. I'm not going to tell you who won, but all 3 winners are in the group. I checked. Of the 3 winners, wait, no, I'll say so. What you heard from the Aquarium group is that the next cohort they're going to have is on IA and blockchain. So if you can change your ideas or modify your ideas or expand on your ideas to match that, your chances of getting in are going to be higher. Just want to see if no one else caught that. I asked for it the other day, but the guy didn't have the answer. But that's the answer. So AI and blockchain is the next cohort. The 3 winners are not based on the AI, meaning of all the people that submitted your AI ideas, you have that avenue. Please pursue it. Keep going. Don't stop. 8 of the idea submissions are already possible on Fifthwork, on our old platform, not even our new one. So if your platform was education based, please reach out to us. I mean, we might actually reach out to you actually, but don't be discouraged if you weren't chosen to win. You'll probably just become ambassadors. Your idea already exists. We just simply need people in the areas. You can still pursue your ideas. They're still yours. Like we can still work together. So if you're education based, don't lose hope. 10 ideas outside the winners actually have coherent business models. You can scale, you can make money. So you're probably going to get an email from me, a response saying, hey, don't drop. You have a good idea, keep going. And then I did want to just say, last year, it was a really good turnout. We had a lot more applications, or not applications, submissions. So it was a lot more to filter through. But this year I got to be able to be a little bit more intimate with each of your submissions. And I really liked hearing your guys' thoughts, seeing the problems in your areas, seeing the consistent problems that you guys have, that you all face. It seems like don't give up. You might be the answer. I mean, we might not be the ones to be able to support you, and our spotlights might not be on you, but be the light for yourself. Big up yourself, and then basically, yeah, just be as best as you can be, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Nino. Blaine, you want to share something with us?
Sure. I kicked on the video, so I'm no longer in hiding. You all know what I look like now. So. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody. There is a lot of also to the team that put everything together. There's a lot of work that happens in the background, and that is appreciated not only by us, but I'm sure by the students as well. So thanks again for the submissions. Very fun to look through. Some really great ideas. It's unfortunate there's only 3 that we're picking from, but or selecting. But definitely keep an eye out for any additional contact from us. And if there is something there, we'll definitely let you know. Thank you.
Thanks, Blaine. Thanks, Nino. Gabby, back to you.
So thank you so much, Nino and Blaine. Wonderful to finally meet you, and see your face, see who you are. Thank you, Nino. And it's an honor, that we could, and our participants could stir such emotion and such passion within you and within both of you. And it means a lot. As I said, I just had to, and Brian as well had to take that time to continually say that we honor your contributions, because you're really changing lives and giving people the possibility and pathways to change the destiny of their entire families and generations through it. So thank you so much. So next up, we're speaking about changing, pathways and changing, trajectories. And as you know, I'm passionate about education. And one key way that this is done is through education and tertiary education at that. So speaking of which, I am extremely proud. Paul, where are you? So I can pin you as I introduce you. Paul,
I've pinned him already, Gabby.
I don't see him. I don't see him on my site. That's crazy. Oh, there you are, Paul.
Right there on the screen.
There you go. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
So, they say Barbados internet is touch and go,
Yeah, it'd be a little strange sometimes, but it's holding on. It's holding on. So Paul is the co-founder and CEO of Avia University. And when Brian reached out to Paul, once again, like every single mentor, partner, participant, he was ready to go. Paul said, absolutely, this is going to help. I want to use my influence in education at university to come on as partners. So Paul, we honor you. We thank you for being here with us yet again, and give us your remarks. Welcome and thank you.
Welcome, Paul.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Let me start by saying that I'm deeply honored to be part of this incredible journey and to contribute to today's celebration. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished speakers, mentors, and organizers who have made this bootcamp a resounding success. Throughout this bootcamp, we have had the privilege of engaging in a series of interactive sessions and gaining industry insights from various mentors and guest speakers. These sessions have indeed been instrumental in fostering a sense of community and collaboration among all of us. We have explored a diverse range of topics from blockchain fundamentals to smart contracts, AI agents, and cybersecurity. The hallmark of this bootcamp has been the acquiring of new and diverse knowledge. We have delved into intricacies of XRPL architecture and blockchain risk management. The ideation and real-world application sessions have been particularly enlightening, helping us understand how to refine an idea and communicate a robust value proposition. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the contribution of our mentors and keynote speakers who have generously shared their expertise and insights with us. The networking opportunities provided by this bootcamp have been exceptional, allowing us to connect with industry leaders and peers and building lasting professional relationships. Reflecting on my journey through this bootcamp, I recall the challenges I faced and the determination that kept me going. Despite being out in the field most of the time during this bootcamp, the thought of missing out always motivated me to make everything possible to make it for the sessions. And just as a conclusion, I would like to conclude by reminding myself and all participants for this bootcamp that life is not about how much we have, but about what we do with what we have. By closing, I just want to say thank you to the organizers, mentors, participants for making this bootcamp a remarkable success. I'm excited for the future and wish everyone the best in their endeavors. Let's continue to support each other and strive for excellence. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Paul, you know you're my brother from Kenya, my brother from near my ends in Western Kenya. I highly respect you. And I just want to say something small. You know, Kenyans, when we say something small, it's end up being long thing, but this is really small thing, yeah? Paul, the students in here who came from within your network have been superb, okay? And we are really looking forward to doing something with you and your team in Kenya. So I think you're making our decision as to whether it's the Caribbean or Kenya slightly easier, but you know we have to consider Shanika and the Caribbean team, you know Trisha and them. We have to consider them as well. But for real, Kenya, we're coming soon. So have your ear on the ground continuously. There's the Hedera partnership that's coming up with us, and you know other chains as well. And Kenya, literally, they call it the Silicon Savannah. So we are going to do our best to be there. And I know Nino really wants to put his hands all over Kenya in terms of the Web3 and emerging tech revolution. So thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for everything. And you know, it doesn't stop here. We continue building every day. So Gabi, back to you.
Thank you so much, Paul. I always have a soft spot for universities and especially higher education. Sometimes people feel as if, higher education, they can be stuck in their ways, immobile, they're not as futuristic. But Abia University, let Paul and Abia University be that beacon, right? That bastion and standard to show that, yes, higher education, they are fluid, they are stepping into the future, and they are really connected to where innovation is going for education in the future. So now we are getting into, as I said earlier, speaking to the actual participants, because Brian can say it's amazing, I can say it's amazing, Paul can say it's amazing, everyone can say that, but we have to hear from the actual graduates and the actual individuals who have gone through the No Long Thing Bootcamp themselves. So first up on the docket to speak to us as graduate speakers would be David Dext and Gladys Malero to come and speak to us.
Gabi, it's Ian first.
Brian interjecting. Go ahead, Brian.
It's Ian and then David and Gladys.
Okay,
Ian
great.
first and then David, then Gladys.
Ian.
Sorry for
I have
that.
a special introduction. So we're going to reverse the docket, right? We're going to reverse it now and bring Ian to the fore. So let me tell you a little bit about Ian Constantine, okay? Hailing from St. Lucia, if I'm not mistaken.
Right,
yes!
Gabby.
So Helen of the West Indies. He's hailing from Helen of the West Indies, beautiful little island. I was there earlier with the Youth IRE Caribbean Climate Justice Summit, and I truly enjoyed my time in St. Lucia. So I actually know Ian from school days. I know Ian from school, and he's always been someone that's been dedicated to excellence. Ian has always been an individual that's applied himself. He's always been very, very forward thinking. And you're such a great treasure and addition to this program. I'm very excited to hear about your journey and what you thought about your experience with us. And I know that you'll provide lots of clarity because you're quite a discerning chap. So, ladies and gentlemen, put some claps in the chat for our first graduate speaker, Ian.
Ian, unmute yourself. Gabby, that was quite British of you, quite a discerning chap. You don't say.
Love it, love it. Thank you so much, Gabby. I appreciate the warm welcome. I mean, where do I even start? It's a tough act to follow. I mean, it's been an amazing night tonight. Starting from Dean to Aurelian to Sam to yourself. As you know, we go way back to uni days, and you've always been a beacon of excellence yourself. Also, shout out to like Kenil, Devon, Adila, Palisa, Nino, Blaine, Paul, and many others. I looked at the list tonight, and there were like 36 contributors to this program, and it has been a beacon of excellence. So, I mean, a few weeks ago, I was chatting with Brian at a conference at CMS, and he's always been a very passionate person. And he told me that he has this bootcamp coming up with excellent speakers, excellent vibes. And I'm like, I have to be a part of this. He's always been someone who's very passionate about this sector, whether it's Web3, DLT, all things tech and its happenings. And it was a pleasure seeing it firsthand. I mean, the common theme of tonight has been passion, and it's been pronounced. Everyone here is in a different league of themselves. I mean, we have industry leaders, we've got young professionals, and it takes a time and dedication to come out every night for 2 weeks to not only give up your time, talents, but even capital investment. That is something that is unmatched. So, I mean, at this point in time, I'll keep it short, keep it sweet. That's the theme for tonight, is that we've been given the skills, whether that's in part the network, the knowledge, and right now the ability. So in true Caribbean fashion, I would say that we're cooking with gas. Take these skills, take it to the next level. It's what I'm doing right now. Having worked within the legal, fintech, and now legal tech markets, I'm looking forward to putting this passion and working on all these persons here. A few days ago, I've been talking to all my colleagues about it, what we've been learning, speaking about our peers, from favor to all the asset tracing that we've learned, to all the little skills I've learned, even building on the XRP ledger. So this is no easy feat, and I must say it's been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with everyone within this No Long Team program. So thank you very much, guys, and have a wonderful night. Give yourself a round of applause because you deserve it.
Yo, like Ian, that was excellent. Yo, does everybody go to Devon's book club? Because all these articulate speakers, I don't know where. Yo, Gabby, I really need to go back to school, you know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ian. That was fantastic. Bless you, mate.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you so much, Ian, and truly appreciate it. It said concise, really descriptive and genuine from the heart. And I'm really happy. This is such a great and impromptu, wonderful reunion to see you again. And, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing your progression in the space because I know you and knowing you from school and whatnot, anything that you put your hands to, you're very serious about. And I know that you're going to be a game changer, right, for this sector. So looking forward to just seeing your continued progress and keep being amazing. So thank you so much, Ian. So we're going to go on now to David Dext and Gladys Malemo to give us their perspectives on their time with us at NLT. Put some claps in the chat, Maleo.
Yo, David.
Hi. Okay.
David,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can. I can hear you.
Yo, David, in Kenya, people would say Davy. Sindio?
Yeah.
No, so the guys in the crowd in Kenya, David will be invited as Davy. Davy Vipi bana.
Niko poa, bro.
Davy, go right ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is David Dex. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm privileged to work as the community manager for Abia Africa. And first and foremost, I'll start by saying a huge thank you to Blockchain Lex Group, Crypto Monday Africa, Crypto Monday Caribbean for organizing this. To all our speakers, a huge shout out to Brian, you yourself, Gabi, Kanil, Devon, the man with the wise words, to Nino, to everyone. I'm truly grateful actually for you giving us this expensive knowledge for free. For me, what I can just say is a huge God bless you to everyone. May God bless the works of your hands. That's the only thing that I can offer to you guys. I use God bless you. And to my fellow learners, what I can just tell you is that keep on sowing the seeds. The harvest time is coming. Remember what Brian told us, that you don't need a curriculum in order for you to know that you're part of the big change that is going to happen. So keep on sowing the seeds. The harvest time is coming. The opportunities are limitless. We've been told that severally, and right now you're walking into our new identity. So keep on sowing the seeds. The harvest time is coming. Congratulations to all the graduates and the fellow learners. Big up yourself, guys.
Yo, Davey, big up yourself, brother. Big up yourself. Okay, Gabby, let me pin you. Gabby, Gabby, you there?
I'm here.
Right, okay. Let me pin you and then put Maleo. Maleo, are you there?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yo, hold up. Let me tell you. Maleo, you're from Tanzania. You're from Dar?
Yes, I'm from Tanzania. I'm
So
actually from Dodoma.
you're from Dodoma. Hey,
Yes,
I know Dodoma. I've been to Dodoma. Listen, and Dar as well. In my DJ days, I
yes.
used to travel a lot. Yo, listen, guys. So I was born and raised in Mombasa. So the people in Dar es Salaam, they speak Swahili like Mombasa, but the Swahili in Dar es Salaam, that is like the textbook Swahili. So, yo, karibu dada, nataka kukusikia au sio vipi? Naomba utuongeleshe. All right, big up yourself.
Excited, Clara. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to you guys, for the founders, for the mentors, the keynote speakers, the partners, every single one of you who made this bootcamp possible. These 2 weeks have been absolutely amazing. And I'm going to have to tell you guys that this is actually the second time that I'm participating in the blockchain life group, because the first one was so good that I knew that this new bootcamp, I just knew. The first one was so amazing. And actually, I have a testimony. After that first bootcamp, I started towards getting a certification for cybersecurity, which I'm set to have in like 6 months. I'm actually a law student and I graduated in November. So I never had any plans of going into like technology or whatever. But because of that first bootcamp, and this one as well, because this one has given me so many more new gems that are just so amazing. Now I'm so excited about Web3 and I'm so grateful because, guys, listen, us as Africans during the first and second technological revolutions, we were kind of left behind. But now we're here for the birth of Web3. Because of boot camps like this, we are given the opportunity to be there at the start. Okay, we have the opportunity to become the innovators. Like Brian said, the Silicon Savannah, we can become like the Silicon Valley. We have that opportunity, like that at our front doorstep. And we need to like grab this knowledge and to use it for ourselves, for our communities. Like these boot camps are so good and I've learned so much and I've taken so much action because of it. And I need you guys, like everyone here who's a student, I need you guys to unlock your full potential and use the amazing knowledge, the amazing connections that we're given, and to do this so that we can, so now Africa can become the new technological, I don't know, what is this? The hub of technology for Web3. Okay, we can be the harbingers of the Web3 revolution, just like this, because we're at the beginning stages and we're at such a great advantage to be given this knowledge this early on instead of like learning it later when it's become oversaturated by other countries. So that's all I had to say. I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much.
Aleo, let me give you something in front of everybody here. Just because of your passion and your dedication, I would like to work with you personally on Crypto Mondays, Tanzania, under the Blockchain Lex Group chapter. Just like how we are doing this with Palesa in Lesotho, let's have a proper meeting and discuss, and we are going to try organize resources. You can start as 5 people in a meeting room, whatever. I will personally send you a few £100 to buy some tea and biscuits and cake, whatever. to get the chapter started, okay? To print some
Thank you
banners
so
and
much.
all that, get the word out there. We're going to find partners in that region. And I keep saying this, Nino has this vision of empowering Africa, and we can do our best to get you going. So speak to the universities there. I know there's a University of Dar es Salaam, and I think there's a Julius Nyerere as well. Speak to those, start speaking to those communities, start building out those hubs, and we can start this as soon as tomorrow. You holler at me, you have my email, holler at me.
Yes.
Yo, Job, Kenya, we got you too, man. Kenya, we have you. Paul is already holding it down on those ends. Yeah, so we're coming. Yo, Kenyan guys, chill out, chill out. We got you too.
Yeah, you Kenyans, you guys are so good at grabbing opportunities. Like something I really admire about Kenyans. Like you guys are so quick with it, so up to date. Like something Tanzanians, I feel like we lag behind. Like technology, we're so heavy with going with the time and technology wise. But you guys, like you guys know how to go for it. And
Bless you.
I wish
Bless
we
you.
had more of like that. I don't know,
I
that
hope
passion.
the Kenyans who have masikio wataskia, because you've literally said it. No one has prepped you or anything. I hope they've heard, and the other community members have heard. So let's be in touch, okay? Let's do this. And
Yes.
I'm really
Yes.
glad that you came to us for the second time. Like, yo, big up yourself, yeah? Yeah, Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Gabby, we are now going to have Ruben. So Ruben is one of our students from Nairobi, and then from Ruben we're gonna have Faylene, and then Barbara.
All right. So Ruben, Feline, Barbara.
Hey,
You guys
Gabby, hold up. Hafsa, unmute your mic. Umesikia? Gabby, and everybody who doesn't hear Swahili. Umesikia means have you heard? So Hafsa, umesikia? Kenyans, umesikia? No, for real, you have these opportunities. So we have to take it, like kill it, man. Kill it. You know? So Ruben, I don't think Ruben is here right now. But Faylene, are you here now?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Right. So let me add your pin. Okay, there you go, Faylene. And then Barbara, you can go next. And then I think we'll be going back to Nino.
Oh, hello everyone. Kindly bear with me. I won't be able to share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to start by saying thank you so much, Mr. Brian, for giving me this opportunity to represent the graduates. So first of all, shout out to all our mentors. Thank you so much. Words cannot describe what you guys are doing for us, what you've done for us. It is just so much. Okay, let me just do a quick introduction. My name is Faith Saisi. I'm a nurse by profession, and I'm from Kenya, Nairobi. So to all, I will continue where I had started. Was actually bigging up our mentors. They have been really good to us. What you've taught us, it's not just the knowledge, like the normal knowledge, but this knowledge will shape us into people who can think like developers, problem solvers, creators, and that is something we will carry a long way with us. And to all my fellow graduates, big up yourselves for taking this challenge. We now have the tools to actually build the future. The tech we've learned isn't just a hype, it's a foundation. Whether it is DeFi, NFTs, or something we invent tomorrow, we are ready. So let's keep building, let's keep experimenting, stay weird, stay curious. And even though we are logging off today, let's not forget we are just getting started.
That's true.
Oh, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. Faith, like, big up yourself. Yo, Faith, you're in Nairobi?
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Yo, the Nairobi crew, soon see you. Soon come, soon see all of you. So, next we're gonna have Barbara. Oh, and then guys, we're gonna try to wrap this by 9:30. But if you all wanna still chill out and all that, we can have that so that we discuss subsequent steps later on. Yeah. So, Barbara.
Hi everyone.
Hey, Barbara. Barbara,
So today,
video iko wapi, Barbara?
okay, just a minute.
Yeah, and if Barbara's dad in Kenya, if Barbara's dad is called Mwangi, he's probably called Mwangi.
Yeah, it's Mwangi.
Mwangi. Yo,
That's what.
guys, yo, you know what I mean? I have to educate my people in this group.
Yes.
Gabby, you're dying. Yo, Barbara, what's up, man?
Hi. So today I feel really proud and I'm also very humbled for this opportunity. And I would say that I have actually learned a lot in Web3 in this space because I was really curious in knowing what Web3 is all about. And the fact that I have met the legends of this space, I have met the who's and the who's of blockchain, I feel really humbled. And one thing I would say is that what I've learned is that Web3 is not just about coding and everything. It's about the people. It's about the community. It's about getting to be in these spaces and showing up. And the fact that you've even given us a chance to like put our ideas out there, to have that courage to know that we can actually execute an idea. I will say that it has been a priceless space and priceless journey for us. So I will say thank you so much for opening our minds. Thank you for opening these doors. And I will tell everyone, let's keep on building. Let's keep on getting that courage to keep on knowing that we can actually bring out a solution to an idea that we have. So, and Brian, I would say that we are waiting for you in Nairobi. I'm sure that the blockchain community will be so psyched up if they hear that you guys are coming. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yo, I'm coming and we're coming, and when we come, we're gonna throw down a party. Like we're not just coming to come and have boring meetings. We're gonna come and kick it. Yeah? So Kenya, we coming. Yo, Nino, I hope you've heard, man. Of course, Marcella, I'll DJ. What you mean? Yes, I will, for real. Let me tell you guys, you know DJ E, who plays on Nation TV every Friday? Like that's my homeboy. So I'm gonna come with DJ E and he's gonna kill it on the decks.
Hey,
Okay,
Brian. No, you're so
yo.
well connected. See if you can get Frencho to DJ, actually, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
I'll get Frencho to DJ as well. But Frencho has rusted. He hasn't been practicing. But yeah, I'll still get Frencho to come through. Okay, so who's next? Shanika from Barbados.
Shanika. I gotta intro Shanika.
Okay, intro Shanika, Gabi. Okay, hold up. Let me pin you.
Pin, right? So I have to introduce Shanika because first of all, picking yourself one time coming from the beautiful 246 Barbados is in the building. Let me tell you something. Shanika is so amazing. She is so genuine. I actually met Shanika through Protexa. So Protexa is one of the largest AI, cybersecurity, education, like firms and giants in the space. And she works with them. And we met at the central bank, right, Shanika? Yes. So I attended the Central Bank of Barbados' AI Policy Forum, and I had been previously booked for that to speak at Protexa's graduation. No, their inception ceremony when the course started. So Shanika was, as always, always taking initiative. She came to me. She's like, "Girl, I'm from Protexa. Happy to meet you." I said, "Girl, happy to meet you too." Energy was on point from the start. So we just kept in, contacts and everything. And then FinTech Islands came up, and I just recognized her drive and her passion to make Barbados and the rest of the world better through AI, cybersecurity, and technology. So I said, if there is one person that needs to be in the BLG CMC FinTech cohort, it has to be Shanika Bowen. So Shanika, I'm so proud of you. She said to me, she said, look, any programs you guys do, I'm going to be a part of it. I'm going to make time to make sure that I attend. And she is a woman of her word. She came, she saw, and she conquered. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our graduate speaker, Shanika Bowen. Go ahead, Shanika.
Thank you for such an amazing introduction. Everybody here is great. Nobody can beat your energy. So, Shanika Bowen from Barbados. Good day, everybody. I just want to take this moment to say a big thank you to the Blockchain Let's Group, Crypto Monday Africa, Crypto Monday Caribbean for hosting such a marvelous bootcamp. I think I can speak for everybody here, all the students, the participants. The No Long Ting Blockchain Web3 Bootcamp truly lived up to the hype and then some. To all the speakers who generously shared their knowledge with us over the past 2 weeks, we appreciate you deeply. To the amazing bootcamp administration, to the mentors, Pelissa, Tricia, Gabby, to Brian, to Nino, thank you for having me, for having us, for creating this space for us to grow and learn. It's been an incredible journey, and I hope to make you all and my peers proud as we step forward into this exciting space. Compose music, not noise. Thank you.
No long takes indeed. Straight to the point. We love that. I know, Brian, you got something to say. Brian loves
Yo,
long takes.
Shanika, that was so quick, you know. I didn't even catch my flying fish from,
Cuz. From
I
Cuz.
wasn't even looking at Chefette yet, you know. Yo, listen, guys, for those who don't know where Barbados is where Rihanna comes from.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
where those who listen to DJ Puffy, and I know Kenyans are they're big fans of DJ Puffy. He comes from the island of Barbados. Barbados is literally my third home. Like, I love Barbados. And those of you who are hating and like brand being everywhere, nah, don't hate the player, hate the game. Barbados, yo, Shanika, pick up yourself. I'll meet you by the gap later on. Yo, okay, Gabby, next up we have Favor.
We have Favor. So Favor. Let me see where she is. I'm trying to pin her on my side.
I've pinned already.
Pinned her. So
Yeah.
Favor, you know, as your name suggests, you know, you brought favor to yourself, right? By being a part of the NLT program, because education is that tool that nobody can take from you. And I want you participants to remember that. When you learn something in here, you can lose money, you can lose anything else, but you can never lose what you've learned and put into your mind. So Favor, come on up, step right up as our next graduate speaker to tell us about your experience in the Long Ting Camp.
Favor?
Thank you, Gabi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we now can.
Thank you. I want to appreciate all the mentors, partners for the time and everything. I don't have long speech. I just want to be short because I can see students here are anxious to, of course, get their certificates minted and also to know their position during the submission of ideas. But it's something that resonates with me, and Devon has said something about that, and that is being part of a community. So it's not about what you stand to gain in the present. So I'm talking to the graduates. Being part of a community and adding value to a community is something that is priceless. So it's not just about gaining the knowledge, but about giving back, about networking and creating people around you. I could say from No Long Ting 2024 to this 2025, There are people around that are like sisters and brothers, and behind No Long Thing, we have collaborated with one thing or the other on ideas, on projects, and all of that. So I want to let you know that look around. There are people of like minds. Look around. There are those in your passion, and pursue community, pursue the network, pursue like minds, because the truth is you can go fast alone, but for you to go far, you need to work with others. So I will just end there. Thank you.
Yo, thanks, Favor. I'd like to introduce Favor. You know what, Favor, I really respect your game as well. Favor, if you're follow Favor on LinkedIn, like Favor is kicking ass and she's doing this thing with agriculture and all. And Favor, you are really gonna go far. Like I'm always ever so proud of you. Like, and I've seen your growth from FLC to the other NLT, and you became our ambassador for Nigeria. Those who are asking about Crypto Mondays Night Africa, Favor is the one who inboxed me and said, Brian, this Crypto Mondays Caribbean, why can it be in Africa? We want it in Africa. And I said, you know what, Favor, you say this, I got you. So it's because of Favor, this Crypto Mondays Africa. So Favor, thank you ever so much. And soon we'll be coming to Lagos or Abuja, depending, because Nino really has some close-knit networks in Nigeria, and he has never been to Nigeria, and he's not on social media. So, you'll tell us who you'll be working for, you know? Anyway, Maka Yusuf. Maka Yusuf. Is Maka Yusuf here?
Yeah, overall.
Yeah,
Can you
Maka
hear me?
Yusuf. Yeah, and Maka Yusuf, you won last year. So how does it feel to be a winner last year and join us here once more? And after you, Maka Yusuf, we're going to have our final shout out from Nigeria, and that's going to be from Princess Per Se, and then we hand it over to Nino.
First of all, I want to thank all the mentors. I want to thank you for providing your time to teach us, to show us the way. It has been a great experience from last year to this year. As Brian said, I was part of the winners of last year. It has been an eye-opener, and it has led me and it has put me on a path, on a blockchain journey, because after I won, just a little story. After I won last year, we had a little discussion about what blockchain is, because of where I am. I'm from the northern part of Nigeria. We are mostly limited to technology and innovations. And there is a way that we're thinking of how we can just foster ourselves to be at the forefront of technology when it comes to the Nigerian market. And that brings us to a legislative bill that has been sent to the House of Assembly for blockchain to be taught for the youth of northern Nigeria. It's still in the process, but we believe that it's going to materialize in the nearest future, next year or the upper year of the legislative year. And all of this progress was just because of the blockchain bootcamp that I attended last year and the knowledge that I've gotten. And one of the cardinal things I've gotten is this knowledge should not stay with you. You should learn to teach others the knowledge that you have gotten. So the knowledge I've gotten, I've disseminated to a lot of people that are willing to learn, and we have created a little hub in the northern part of Nigeria in which we are training each other on the blockchain and how we can write proposals and how we can look for ways to solve our problem using blockchain. And this year it has been a miraculous, very big change, because from last year, everybody attended last year and this year, you know that a lot of knowledge has been impacted this year, and we believe that the next hackathon and the next blockchain training is going to be more than this. Big ups to the entire team for what you have put through, and I believe that you actually succeed, and you see us also succeed, and you'll be proud that, and we also will be proud that you're a part of our journey in making a positive change in our environment. Thank you.
Yo, Maka Yusuf, again, big up yourself. And I think you're also in Devon's book club. You all are sounding so articulate and nice. Like, I don't know what's happening to me, but it's like everybody has joined the Devon club. Yo, Devon, we need to have words after this. Yo, Princess, before we jump to you, there was somebody from Kenya I really wanted to hear, and I think it's Stan. And on the chat, there's two Stans. So which Stan is from Kenya?
Yo, Chief.
Yo! It's you, bro.
Hey,
Vipi maze?
thank you. Thank you, and thank the Almighty God for this session. For the No Long Ting family, the Blockstein Next group, the speakers, man, the mentors, mad energy, mad
Yo,
love.
Stano Ngoja, Stano. You
Easy,
know, in Kenya, they won't say Stan as Stan. Stan is too stoosh. They'll be like Stano. Yo, Stano, wake a video
Yeah.
Buddha. Wake a video Buddha.
Apologies, man. Like I'm somewhere off heading home. I'm from work heading home, so
Aya, sawa basi. No worries, bro. No worries, bro. Endelea.
So yeah, thanks once again, Brayo. I think 254 people call Brayo as Yobra. You know Yobra. I don't
Yeah,
know.
in Kenya, Brayo will be Yobra. So me
It's
in Kenya,
Yobra.
they'll call me Yobra or Brayo.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, but there's a whole story behind it. So I think when you come to Kenya with Nino, I'll most probably share that story where Brayo is called Yobra.
Yeah, Yobra. And listen,
Oh yeah.
in Kenya,
Yeah.
there's names as ladies you have to avoid. Yobra,
I see
Bro.
you, Chief. I see you.
No, Kevin's, if there's a Kevin somewhere or a Brian somewhere, Yobra, Kevo, Tivo, Davy. Those are just names you avoid.
I know.
Anyway,
But you see
Stano,
now.
back to you,
Yeah.
bro.
Thanks, man. Oh, wow. The energy is killing, man. Okay, so first and foremost is to really thank you, like the Almighty, for first of all for the 2 weeks. It's been no joke, full of insight, full of a lot of practicality, a lot of real use cases on the seriousness of the matter when it comes to Web3 in terms of compliance, regulation, like building and stuff. So block legs and crypto Mondays, maybe Caribbean, Africa, London, mad energy, mad respect. I think were it not for this platform, I think I wouldn't have known some key figures in the space, like the dean we had on the as our first keynote speaker. So I really don't take it for granted, man. So from it, you guys, it's mad respect, mad love, and I think, as I said, it's a no long thing bootcamp. It's a no long thing conference, man. We're killing it, it's more than that. So from here, moving on, Brian, it's serious business, and thank you so much. We don't take it for granted at all. You guys, whatever energy and resource you put in, it's gonna come in tenfolds. And for my fellow graduates and the participants, thank you for keeping the energy. The posts keep coming, and it's. I think we ought to build we ought not to build, but you're already a community as you're speaking. So I know after this, we go back to our different engagements, but for me, I feel the community is growing, and by the end of things, we'll be the frontiers, and trying to spread the gospel of decentralization across all platforms. So from me to you, Chief, it's a big thank you, and the mentors, the facilitators, mad respect and God bless, man. And on
Yo,
to
Stano,
the
big up yourself, man. Wazi, brother. Sawa.
thanks.
All right, cool. Cheers. Gabby, back to you. At times I get caught up with my home lingo because in the UK, you don't come across too many Kenyans who speaking slang and things. They want to be fancy. So allow it. So Gabby, introduce Princess, then we go to Nino and we wrap this thing up.
Yeah, so I am so first of all, thank you so much to all of you who spoke, that participated in the program. Your words touched me so much, and I even got emotional. Shanika can tell you I'm a crier. I'd be crying because I can tell you I'd be crying, okay? But it's because it's really a hard work, right? It's really a hard work here that we do at BLG, and I'm just happy for all of you. So Princess, I love Princess so much. Listen, Princess is one of my LC ambassadors. Princess is such an incredible young lady, so passionate, so forward thinking, so driven. to push the legal and innovation and technology sector forward. And you know what's beautiful? I'm so happy that NLT, whereas FLC is annual, we're once a year, NLT has multiple iterations throughout the year. So I'm so happy that a lot of the FLC community that was not able, you know, to pop in as much or be a part of it the first time around, they were able to join and come through the second time around. So Princess, you know, look at yourself one time. Love you so much. And looking forward to hearing what you have to say about your experience. Welcome, Princess Best. Go ahead, Princess.
OMG, thank you so much, Gabby. You know, I love you. I love you, love you, love you. Brian, it's amazing what you have done. I don't even think you know how much you are doing for, first of all, my country, but Africa in general. We were so behind. Anyway, guys, let us just all just clap our hands for the blockchain Lex group. What we are getting today is something that people pay millions. I take a lot of courses, so I know that people pay a lot of money for this, and then we are meeting as starters. Let's put our starting. We are meeting like the, I'll say in Nigerian language, Oga Pata Patas. We are meeting the top guys at this thing, and we are just starting. That is a privilege. You guys know my story, as I see what has happened in Nigeria. They took lives. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You guys know my story. As of last year, I knew nothing about Web3. I got curious mostly because of AI, and I got into it with a few courses, and then came along Flex, and then I did that, and then we had this. And even though last year I didn't really finish my exams because I had work and some other things. I said this year I've got to come back, and let me tell you guys, it's the most, it's probably the best thing I've ever done, right? Because it's not even just the knowledge. The knowledge is superb, it's amazing. But you see this ginger, I don't know about you guys, but I'm taking it with me. Best believe you're going to be seeing more of me. I already have a lot of drafts of things I want to talk about, things I want to work on, people I want to collaborate with, and that's all I'm going to say. Brian, Blockchain Lex, Gabby, Nino, your effort is not in vain. You are definitely going to see the rewards of what you are doing. At least in me, you can count on me. So to all my graduates, please, please, please don't let it stop here. In whatever field that you are in, you don't have to be a programmer, you don't have to be technical. Web3 is where we are at now. So have the conversation from where you are standing. And I'm sure that if all of us leave this place and do just one tiny thing in regards to this good, the whole world is gonna blow up. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Much love.
Bless you, Princess. Thank you very much. Gabby, back to you and Nino. And Nino, I guess this is the opportunity.
He just moved in. Thank you so much, Princess. You're absolutely right. And you know, I honestly, Brian, look, I people say we're biased, but I just personally believe that FLC and NLT attracts the best individuals in our programs. Honestly, truly, honestly, truly. So thank you, Princess. We love you and appreciate you. So I had to put on my announcer voice, like when you're boxing in the ring. So ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have been waiting for has arrived. We are now going to bring you to the crescendo of this evening's ceremony. We are going to get into the presentation of the awards, where our fifth work superstar will tell you our wonderful, outstanding achievers and the winners of the challenge. So, can I get a drum roll, please? Nino, take it away to present the awards.
All right. So the winners are going to be announced after I talk. So the awards, I already spoke about the numbers that we had. And I want to just bring it back to ground level, educate a little bit more. I would say our goal at Fifth Work is to just educate and help people better themselves and just give you the tools that you can do it yourself. That's the ultimate goal, is just change lives, right? Regarding the 3 award winners today, they are going to be receiving from us $300 in whatever currency they want, ideally crypto, because it's cheaper to move stuff across the board, and also because the intent is to empower you, right? And if you want to build an XRPL, you should probably have some XRP on hand. And if you want to build on Solana, you should have, I think they call them souls. But ultimately, that's the goal. I mean, it's a small token. It's a tool that you can use to improve yourself even more. And again, the 3 winners are not the only, beneficiaries of this. You all got the education. You all get the certification if you participated with the announcements. And ultimately, you have the final say in what you can and can't build. And what you can and can't impact is entirely up to you. So it's us announcing these 3 winners is not to say that you can't continue and you can't be successful and you can't make a difference, because you absolutely can. I didn't even have a program like this, or we didn't even have a program like this, and we built Fifth Work with it. Brian didn't have this, and he built Blockchain Lecture Group. So you can do whatever you want, but we are here to help you. Please reach out if you need help. Don't hesitate. You have the tools. You have the community. You're not alone. There are more awards. Brian, if you wanted to speak more on that real quick for the winners.
Okay. Let me say this. I think my goodie bag goes beyond the winners, because first of all, I don't even know who the winners are. So genuinely, I don't know who the winners are, but I know from personal experience as myself, it's not the scholarship winner or the whatever winner who does the greatest things in life. It's always, let's say, it's always the person who doesn't get that award who always goes to outshine the person who gets the award. So I'm not saying the people who win the awards are not going to shine. You can shine, but my goodie bag is for everybody. Okay. So there's an AI prompathon coming up. I'm going to start shortlisting for that tomorrow for everybody in the community, but I need a maximum of 20 people. And this time around, I need really serious people, because when we shortlisted, so we had 3,000 applicants, okay? Then Gabby and I and Nino, we whittled down to around 600 people, because we wanted to give people a chance like we did last year. So last year we had like 1,200 applicants. No, more than 6,000 applicants, then whittled down to 1,200. Then we gave 600 people the chance to. And then we were lenient and we gave 600 people certificates to graduate. But then some of them have become dormant. So this year we said we're going to whittle down slightly further. And based on the experience for this cohort, we are going to whittle down further, because we really want the top people, the people who are really aggressive, and the people who are really serious about opportunities in life to get the opportunities. So I'm going to be throwing out something every week. So there's going to be an AI prompathon, and this is where people are going to start earning. So the partner we're going to start working with, I think there's a way they're going to tokenize or reward people. I'm going to get the mechanics of this tomorrow, and then I'm going to tell you all. Then we have an opportunity for developers. So I know some developers sent me emails with their details and all that. But our new system, our new DG system requires us to use a cognito form. So I'm gonna do a cognito form for the people in the room, in the community rather, so that we have it in one place. Then there's the people who give the XRPL feedback. I think those are also winners in my eyes because they took a chance to take up the challenge that was thrown to them. You know, some people are snobbish and are like, "Ah, what's this? What the fuck is that? I'm not gonna, it's waste of time, whatever." But it's when you cling onto those opportunities, they take you to the next level. So those people who fill that XRPL feedback form are gonna get the chance of getting like personal mentorship from the XRPL community. And I'm gonna get you an exclusive interview with the teams at XRPL Common to like mentor you to prepare you for this application. And if they have developer community opportunities or other opportunities, they're gonna drop you in that bag as well. So within our community, nobody is a loser. But what Nino is trying to say, there's other people who have incredibly stood out, like they've incredibly stood out. Okay. Oh, wait. And then there's the ambassadorship programs in Africa. So we're aggressively looking at Kenya right now and in the Caribbean. Okay. So for Kenya and Nigeria, I know we have some interim ambassadors, but yeah, we're going to be there officially soon. And lastly, I think I've mentioned this as well. No, I haven't mentioned this. We're going to do like university scholarships. So we're going to sponsor some universities that we want to work with in Africa and the Caribbean as well. So those are like 5 opportunities, Nino. So our goal here
Beautiful.
is to empower the youth and women because they are the future. So, Nino, just back to you then for the
Thank
winner.
you, thank you.
Yeah.
And then I honestly feel guilty that I don't do enough. And because I see Favor who won, and then I see, Maka who won, and I'm like, man, I need to push him more. I need to push him more. But then today, grading all these papers and investing my time, when I get stressed, I get physically sick. When I take on too many things, I get nauseated. And today I was fighting nausea all day. And so even though I do feel guilty, I know that I'm at my limit for how much I can do. So it's nice to see the fruits of that effort actually be realized, and that's today. So it feels really good to be here with you all and to announce them. And I want to thank you all again for coming. I want to say that even if you're not chosen, this isn't the end. We're still working. We're still building. There's always the next one. Come back. You can always try again. That being said, the 3 winners, in no particular order, they get the same awards, are Ian McKay Constantine, John Ndroje Kenya. I can't say that. I should have Brian read these.
It's Njoroge, bro. It's Njoroge, bro. And in Kenya, it's called Njoro.
Well done.
that was terrible. And then the last one is Karen Miano. Those are the 3 that really stood out. And you had the opportunity to earn up to 10 points, and these 3 submissions earned 9. So there's still room to grow. But there were 2 notable non-selectees who earned 8 points each. And they were not winners, but Getson Masesi and then Maka Yusuf again. He almost won again.
Yo, Maka Yusuf, stop being greedy, man.
He submitted like 3 ideas and they're all pretty good, but one of them really stood out. But again, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 sevens. So honestly, some really solid ideas. Honestly, don't let this discourage you all. For the winners, get with me afterwards. There's on the Discord, there is a separate group for just the winners where we'll coordinate how you want paid and everything. Reach out to Discord. For everyone else, again, you can try again next quarter. This is a quarterly thing. Rewards are the same. They get better as we get better partners and everything. And Brian builds out this network. Thank you, Brian. Again,
Thanks.
Truly amazing. Hey, for all of you that don't know, Brian and I met at an after party for a conference. This is after the conference is over. And then, we just started talking and here we are. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And at
So
that party, there was a budget for 200,000 worth of free drinks. And we were tasked to drink those drinks before the party closes at 3 a.m. because in the UK, you have to close down at 3 a.m. So it's about 1 a.m. and they're like, yo, we still have about 50,000 pounds worth of free drinks. I don't know where in the world you are, but convert 200,000 pounds worth of free drinks into your local currency. That's mad drinks.
that's the event. That's the money that was at that event too.
That was the
Crazy.
blockchain event we was at. It was mad things. Yo, listen, Nino, I forgot. So the winners package is this. So the package is about 3,000 USD, right? But they're getting 300 cash, first of all. And then the ones who want to continue with the XRPL assessment that Chris was talking about, we're going to foot that cost for them. I personally will. And then there's like legal advice if they want to talk to some mentors exclusively and all that. It's packaged based on the hourly rates that we will have to cushion for you guys to speak to those people. So when we get to that point, really be serious. The other thing I forgot to mention is all the people who've succeeded in the ideathon, or rather all those of you who've submitted the ideathon as well, you have automatic entry into the hackathon. And the hackathon, guys, is gonna have proper bounties, okay? So it's not like blockchain 101, theoretical, whatever. It's hackathon. So get ready for that. Okay, there's the Hedera hackathon going on, but we're going to have our hackathon as well. That's going to be around August, September. Might be in Kenya, might not be, might be hybrid, part Kenya, part Caribbean. I don't know. We're still finalizing on those logistics. But all we want to say is we're not here to waste your time. So take this thing really serious. Like, because we always breathe and live this every single day. Now, if I could see the winners, I want to know who's winning. Like, yo, Maka Yusuf, I've seen your photo on LinkedIn,
he
but I
didn't
don't know
win.
you. Karen
No,
Miano. Karen, you're from Kenya, right? I want to see you. Like, let's see who's getting
so
gifted.
it's
I mean,
Quinoa, Maino, and Constantine were the
I
three
know
winners.
Ian Constantine. I've met Ian in real
Yeah,
life.
he just
I know
spoke.
Ian.
I didn't realize he would be speaking.
I didn't know. Literally. Okay, Karen, you there in the house? Yo, Maka Yusuf, pick up yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah. Karen, are you there? I don't think Karen's here. John.
Oh yes, I'm here.
Okay, Karen, do
um,
you just want to share your video or you're not able to?
oh,
And we are gonna respect
I
you.
think I'm not in the best state
Don't feel
to
obligated.
show off
No,
myself or
no,
something.
hold up, Karen. So you take a photo bit and then do a LinkedIn picture, just playing with your John, hey, Nino, randomly enough, I didn't even know John is the winner. So, John, I personally handpicked John for the best content, and Palesa can attest to this because if you follow John on Instagram, this guy literally started documenting his journey from when he applied to the bootcamp.
Is that the guy that you texted me about? Because I couldn't find the
Yeah,
original
I'm like,
text.
yo, who's this dude? Like, yo, who's this dude? And literally
That's
every
happenstance.
single day, he's like, yo, guys, and it's some professional stuff. You can hear those James Bond sort of sounds in the back. Guys, this is this. Today I've learned this. Yo, literally 2 weeks straight. I'm like, yo, who's this youth, man? Yo, listen, quality, preparation meets opportunity. On that John package, I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw a little thing for him, but I'm not gonna say no because I need to check my pockets before I commit. But John,
Thank you.
Gabby, you know those contract law cases offer to the world. But Brian, you said, no, John.
Yep, unilateral contracts.
Exactly. Palesa, I think you need to say something to John because you followed up on the quality of his work and what he's done. And literally, as a community, let's do such things.
Oh yeah, John, Brian, I actually told you that John is the guy because I actually went through his Instagram. So we normally have like this people who are handpicked as the top achievers, and I told Brian like John should be one of our top achievers because his content is so great. He went out of his way and created an awesome content. He didn't just share a post, but he went out of his way, you know. So pick up yourself, John.
Yo,
You
bless
did.
you, Palesa. Gabby, the FLC sponsors who are giving out iPads and thing, they should have come and given John an iPad this time around. But we're gonna pick that on another
Yeah,
conversation.
let's talk about it after graduation for sure. For sure. Let's talk
No,
about
for
it.
real, John,
Yes,
yo,
sir.
mad things, man. So,
Thank you.
so Gabby, I'm gonna hand over to you to wrap up the function. I have court tomorrow, so I need to go look at some files.
Mr. Brian, you still do courts?
I do plenty things. Who's that?
Benita, I'm so surprised. That's nice. I
Yeah,
thought you only work on
Benita.
the
Listen, like I'll say,
Brian does
like I
everything.
say, only Palesa and my team understands my life. I don't even understand it. I just live.
Listen, Brian does everything, okay? Like, Brian's just a one-man show, and we love it.
He never sleeps.
Either, actually. You guys are pleased to know that I actually pulled all nighter. I haven't slept in like 24 hours, but I am so dedicated to being here. All my fellow law students know what it's like wrong exam period, right? So currently going through final exams, but we love you so much that we have to show up. So we just want to end, this evening. Believe. But yes, we want to, all good things, as they say, must come to an end. So we do want to end this evening on a note of gratitude to firstly you, the graduates. I mean, you just spoke, so I just want to just say thank you so much. The program, we wouldn't have had it without you participants. So thank you so very much. I just want to say a special thank you to all of our partners. So Stacks, London, of course, EBF, Women in Crypto, Crypto Mondays, both Caribbean and Africa, Blockchain Let's Group, Fifth Work, of course, to all of our mentors, all of our speakers, too many to name individually, but of course, you see all of our literature and our press, you know who you are. Special thank you to all of the keynote speakers, Attorney Dean KC, Sam from BVI, Grant Thornton BVI, our entire team who came out today. Camille literally left a meeting to come here. Adela, Devin, myself, like Brian can tell you, we are so invested in your success, right? And thank you to the entire team. I also want to say thank you to XRPL as well and the Aquarium Residency for the opportunity that they've given for you also to go that route to take your career to the next level. And I just want to say thank you again, graduates. You are congratulations. Please do something nice for yourself today, tonight, this afternoon, wherever you are around the world. Please, you spent 2 weeks back to back, right? Learning about all things Web3 and cryptocurrency. So please do something relaxing. I want to say a special congratulations to the winners, to all the winners, and for your incredible ideas. Thank you so much and congratulations to you. Definitely make sure you do something special. And I can't believe it, but this draws the curtain down on the spring edition of the No Long Ting 2025 Web3 and Blockchain Bootcamp. I've been Gabrielle Gay. It's been a pleasure and honor to be your host this evening, and I'll hand it over to my incredible founder, Brian Mondo to do the rest of the evening's takeaways.
Thanks, Gabby. So, guys, as as the curtains have now drawn, we're just really grateful for each one of you. And I just want to tell you, it hasn't stopped, it won't stop. So the journey goes on. You've passed the baton to the next stage, the journey goes on. Anybody, literally, who wants to link up with me, send me an email, admin@blockchainlex.io, and tell me what it is that you want and how I could help you. I will. Okay? Remember, a closed mouth don't get fed. Oh, and lastly, I've just seen Nino dropping the Discord. We're gonna reconstitute our platforms to tidy them up and remove dead weight. Okay? We don't want dead weight. We want to have, even if it's 10 people who are quality and keep the journey moving, as opposed to having a million people who are literally dead weight. So we are literally gonna trim the fat starting tomorrow. So for those who are serious, we're gonna send out new invitation links, and you're gonna do your Discord with the winners to know how you're going to inject the remittances, and we're gonna start whittling down towards the hackathon. So if you know you're ready for the hackathon, join it, but don't join it and become dead weight, because we won't tolerate dead weight anymore, because we're really aggressively building to change the world. Okay? Thank you so much. And our Nigerian people, big up yourselves. Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, like all the islands, Jamaica, like yo, we little but we yo, Kinil, how does it go? We little but we talawa? Or we, yeah? Yeah, like we're small, but we dominate. We kill
There
it.
you go. You got it. You got it.
Yeah, and there's this thing you go Google this, Jah North Star. God blesses you, like Jah North Star. So yo, guys, bless, big up yourselves. Let's keep this moving. So I'm gonna see you all tomorrow. For those of you who want to chat with me and discuss future opportunities, let's do it. So for now.